Mark Martin's car. You still see a little bit of moisture out there, but not enough to keep the cars from going onto the racetrack. At 7:50 a.m. tomorrow, I hope we will be finished with this race by then. You can tune in ESPN and find the Grand Prix of Belgium from Spa-Francorchamps, 7:50 a.m. tomorrow morning here on ESPN.
Did I see the Ferrari was on the pole?
It had the provisional pole. I don't know the results of qualifying today, but yeah, Berger was on the provisional pole after a first-round qualifying. So that's at 7:50 tomorrow morning.
And the crews are beginning to take the tarps off of their pit areas now.
See what a great job those tarps do? How dry that those pit stalls are? Isn't that amazing?
The real problem is pit road, and that area that was not protected by tarps is quite wet, as you can see there on the left. The racetrack itself, the concrete, is pretty much dry at the moment, and the drivers are checking it out as we speak. Now the blower is over there between turns 3 and 4 and will be coming down pit road, and that thing, with the power that it has an amazing ability to dry off the water. So
that is a jet engine.
Yep.
On the back, the pickup is pulling a trailer with a jet engine on it, and the exhaust from that engine is directed straight to the ground, and it does a tremendous job drying these racetracks.
Not only does it have a lot of force, but it also is hot.
It's very, very warm.
A lot of guys on their hands and knees using the quicker picker-upper there to get up some of the moisture. Jerry, what's NASCAR saying?
Apparently they are polling the drivers again, and this time Dale Earnhardt said, hey, it's dry out here, we're ready to race, and they are telling them to close them up there. He said, close them up and try to get as much heat in the racetrack as they possibly can, but the drivers, to a man who have been told that the track is race ready.
And we can see in the windshield of Earnhardt's car, I don't see any rain hitting the windshield.
They're going to send Terry Labonte out, apparently, to be the rabbit, so to speak, and see if the racetrack is ready for high speed. Let's see if he pulls ahead of the pace car and maybe takes a lap or two at pretty high speed to see how things are going to go. And if he has the okay, then indeed we will get this event underway for 500 laps on the high banks.
Speed, not as fast as they would go under race conditions. Naturally, you want to feel it out a little bit before he really stood on it. See what his word is now, back to his crew and NASCAR. He'll wait now for the pace car in the field to catch up to him.
What'd he say, Jerry?
Terry Labonte said, it feels good to me, we're ready.
All right.
We'll see his crew chief, Gary Dehart, talking to the NASCAR official.
Terry is going to wait till apparently the pack closes up to him. He's just past the start-finish line, headed down toward turn 1, while the rest of the field comes out of turn number 4. And that jet dryer that we talked about, as you can see, is coming down pit road. But we're a couple of more laps away from the actual green flag of this event. But we will be back when it gets underway here at Bristol International Raceway. Stay with us. Live coverage of the Goodies 500 coming up. Ready to go racing at Bristol International Raceway. The fans have waited patiently. They're ready. Here's the green flag, and the race is underway. Concern to a lot of drivers is getting to the inside.
Jeff Gordon has not been able to do that yet. Dale Earnhardt on the inside of him there. They're racing for the 5th position. Earnhardt takes it now.
And Gordon looked like he nearly hit Dale in the back end of the car momentarily. He did, however, fall in behind Dale, and now we have a single file procession through the first and second turns here on lap number 3. It's Mark Martin, Terry Labonte, Michael Waltrip, Rusty Wallace, Dale Earnhardt, Jeff Gordon, Ricky Craven, Ricky Rudd, Ted Musgrave, and Hut Strickland.
You see back in the back there, Bobby Labonte still up on the outside of the Interstate Battery Chevrolet. He's about the only one.
Dave Marcus is also up there.
Right, yeah.
He's losing positions and going to the back of the field. Shepard looking back on Brett Bodine. 28th and 29th. Shepard in 28th and Bodine in 29th.
Well, everybody exercising a lot of patience here right now. Just
that 90 car bottoming out, sending a lot of sparks up from the underneath side. There is the leader, Mark Martin.
Before the night's over, I'm sure we'll see sparks on a lot of these race cars as they go in the corner and then bottom out the chassis, the exhaust.
Great shot looking back on the entire field from leader Mark Martin's car. Let the field go by here and show you that again everybody is very patient at this time, working in single file formation and only making an attempt to pass when they figure they can completely do so. That's how quickly a lap is completed here in under 16 seconds. So they're making almost 4 laps per minute.
And if they can run green flag, it won't take long to get this race out of the way.
Now from Kenny Schrader's view, up ahead to Robert Presley.
Rick Mast, you mean?
Rick Mast, exactly.
That's what you meant, wasn't it?
Did I say anything else?
There we see just a little bit of a spark from Mast's cars. He bottoms going in the corner.
they're driving so nice now.
Well, they are, aren't they, man?
Yeah, just being considerate, conservative.
Schrader has moved up a couple of positions to challenge Rick Mast.
They'll change in a little while. They'll get wave after they get the feeling. In fact, Ken Schrader making a pass right now.
He got to the inside of Rick, picked up that spot. Here comes Jimmy Spencer to pass Mast also. Close call there.
It always is close. When you pass coming off these corners at Bristol, it is always close. And there's the guy that talked about, Darrell Waltrip.
12 times he's won here, Benny.
Huss Strickland said, I'm just going to find Darrell and follow him all night long because I feel like at the end of the race, he's going to be somewhere near the front.
Now, Hutt's pretty far up in front of him right now, about 7 or 8 positions.
I don't imagine he'll stop and wait on Darrell.
No, I don't think so.
Sterling Marlin and Bill Elliott running together out on the racetrack. They are in, let's see, 19th and 20th position, something like that.
Won this race one time. You can see the graphic on the screen, 486 laps to go.
It sounds like a long time, but as we indicated, the laps are so quickly here. And an official race would be 1 lap past the halfway mark, 2:51. I don't think anybody is really thinking about that at the moment, although the goal, of course, is to get up front as quickly as possible. Here is Robert Presley along with Dale Jarrett. There is Ward Burton right behind in the MB&A car. And then Jeff Burton.
Beginning to put a little pressure on Robert Presley there now. The car in front of him, which is Rich Bickle, is beginning to get away by a few car lengths. When conditions are at their best, this is a tough racetrack to pass on, and then you consider, well, there might be a damp spot here or there where you have to be extra special, careful.
Now we can see that Mark Martin and Terry Labonte have kind of driven away from this battle for 3rd place. Right now, Michael Waltrip, Penzo Oponic is in 3rd, Rusty, Earnhardt, and Jeff Gordon.
All closing in. Wallace took a look there to the inside at the end of the backstretch. But Michael Waltrip continues to hang on to 3rd, giving the Pennzoil its best start of 1995 here tonight. And now Earnhardt taking a look to the inside of Rusty Wallace into turn 1, but making no move. Great shot from the roof cam on Dale Earnhardt's car.
Right up on the bumper in the center of the corner.
Michael's car starting to move up just a little bit in the center of the corner. Might be enough to let Rusty Wallace get alongside. There we see Ricky Craven and Ricky Rudd. A couple of Rickies. That's a race for 7th spot. Craven in the 41 Kodiak car is in 7th. and Rudd is in 8th in the Tide machine.
Ricky Craven, the leading candidate to walk off with Rookie of the Year honors this year in NASCAR Winston Cup competition.
He's currently leading Robert Preston in that chase.
Had a great qualifying run here. That was Jeff Burton's spotter we heard there that Sterling's working on. Jim Bodine just made a pass on Hut Strickland.
Ricky Craven has finished in the top 10 the last 2 races. He was 10th at Glen and 7th at Michigan last week. His career best back up front to this pack involving 3, 4, 5, and 6, Waltrip, Wallace, Earnhardt, and Gordon. Here's our first NASCAR field summary for the evening. Take a look at the standings as they were last time around and see where your favorite driver is running.
And the number in parentheses is where that driver started. Now then, Greg Sachs in the 31 car about to be overtaken and lapped by Mark Martin.
We'll see how that second groove up there works for Mark. Greg gives him plenty of room. Labonte comes right on by as Martin gets by.
Sachs, the only car at the moment a lap down, and as you saw, he was just passed by both Mark Martin and second place Terry Labonte. As those two continue to duke it out for the lead and in fact continue to pull away from the second group consisting of those 4 we showed you just a few moments ago of Waltrip, Wallace, Earnhardt, and Gordon.
Ricky Rudd finally was able to get by Ricky Craven. There we see from the rear bumper on Ricky Rudd's car, looking back at Ricky Craven.
So that puts Rudd then up into 7th position.
And that's Ted Musgrave, the Family Channel car, right behind Craven now.
Oh, it spins. Rusty Wallace spins off of turn 4.
Just nudges the wall coming off the corner. It sends up a lot of smoke. The yellow is out, but everybody else is going to be able to dive to the inside and avoid hitting him. I'm not so sure that the car is hurt all that much.
Because some fire on it, Bob.
Oh, yeah.
Fire underneath the car.
The fire goes away once he does get it fired. And he has gone a lap down.
So, Rusty Wallace is a 5-time winner here at this racetrack, including this event last year. He's won the spring race 4 times.
See him pointing at Dale Earnhardt there?
Yep.
I think they got together as they came off the turn up there.
Oh.
We'll see here.
Here's a replay.
Earnhardt comes in, down on the inside, comes up, yep, taps him, and around he goes.
And look at him work the wheel and trying to save the slide. He didn't. The car hit the wall, both the left front and the left rear. And now from the speed shot, we'll take a look at it once again. Second contact was pretty severe there on the left rear.
Well, that's just sheet metal back there. I don't know that it hurt the car too badly, but he's certainly got to go in the pits and change tires, and which he's in the pits right now.
Now there's a fire that briefly erupted on the car. Jerry?
And that was raw fuel coming out the left side exhaust, and Rusty is sitting in there. Rusty just took his right hand and pointed up toward the Earnhardt pit with his index finger and just pointed it right at him. Obviously, he is very, very upset as the car is out of the way. They have changed all 4 tires, and some of the Miller Genuine Draft crew also out on pit road. The NASCAR officials have pushed them back behind the wall, but a lot of concern here about the car's damage.
From the in-car, look and listen to Rusty Wallace's spin. Just the slightest amount of contact with the car in front of you can send him around, and that's exactly what happened as Rusty Wallace has been the first to taste the concrete here at Bristol on this Saturday night. We have just begun, only 34 laps into this race because of a rain delay, and we'll be right back. Riding with Dale Earnhardt here and under a caution here at Bristol. we think that there may be a black flag displayed to Dale Earnhardt. We're going to see here. Yes, indeed. The flagman is pointing to Dale with the black bunting, and Earnhardt is going to go to the rear of the line because of his what NASCAR considered more than incidental contact with Rusty Wallace. The fans think that was the right decision by NASCAR.
Well, some of them do, some of them don't.
Yeah, that's right. They're divided, but they're letting it be known what their feeling is.
Now Rusty will be able to go up to the front of the line on the inside. Jerry?
He's been in 3 times, guys. They raised the hood and set the toe in. The left front tire is still slightly towed in, but they got it as close as they possibly could with the time they had. Sheet metal damage, but a slight toe-in problem in the left front. That's the only injury for the Miller Genuine Draft Ford. Bob?
Here they come down for the restart, and Rusty will, of course, be trying desperately to get his lost lap back. Mark pulls out in front of him, though, however, as the green does come out on lap number 39.
We'll see Rusty's car bottoming out as he exited turn 2. With 4 fresh tires, he might be able to get by Mark Martin, but he needs to do it pretty quick. It looks like he is. He's alongside.
You can tell that he has a lot different attitude about this race right now.
No more patience right now, not for him.
Exactly. He has made up the lost lap. And now Terry Labonte looks like he may be ready to challenge Mark Martin for the lead.
Yeah, he had a notion there.
That's how close that Terry Labonte is to Mark Martin. This is looking out the back bumper of the Valvoline Ford.
Everybody is back on the lead lap. Greg Sachs, who did lose a lap, made his up also. So here's a battle between Joe Nemechek, Derek Cope, and Rich Bickle.
It's 10th, 11th. Watch Rick Bickle in the 40 car practice this afternoon. It looked like his car was running.
Here's another driver that had a great qualifying run. Pontiac.
Bickle started from 15th, qualifying at 123.459, 15.542. And more action back of that group. This is John Andretti along with Dick Trickle, Dale Earnhardt as he tries to make his way up through the pack once again after the black flag. And behind him is Dave Marcus. Earnhardt looking to the inside of Dick Trickle.
Well, he knows that he has to go hard because Mark Martin and them will be around in a hurry to lap on. We had seen Martin already about to lap the tail end of the field. He had gotten by Greg Sachs and was closing in on others. So Earnhardt knows that he can get around there pretty quick. So he's got to put as many cars between he and the leader as he possibly can.
John Andretti losing positions as he gets up in the second groove and those to the inside pass by. Jerry has a report on what did Dale Earnhardt say on the radio during all this, Jerry?
Well, what he actually did, guys, he admitted it was his fault. He said, hey, I'm sorry. He said, but, you know, he said, it looked like Rusty slowed down. Either he jumped out of the throttle or tapped the brake. He said, I hit him, but I certainly didn't mean to. It certainly was my fault, and I'm sorry. He apologized to his team and asked them to apologize to Rusty's team. He said, certainly it was totally unintentional.
In any case, he was forced to the rear of the field, now finds himself in 30th position as he continues to move upward. Earnhardt has won on this racetrack 8 times, 3 at night, 5 during the spring race. They're the first 2. Now here comes 3, 4, 5, 6, and on back. Waltrip is still at the front of the second group. And we have a crash up in turn number 4. It's Brett Bodine in the concrete.
Boy, Brett has had a tough year this year in the Lowe's Ford. He just either has mechanical problems or gets caught up in a crash or something. He just had a tough year.
Had to take a provisional to get into this field, 33rd.
Now, Rusty Wallace has made up his lap because he was in front of Mark Martin. Let's watch the replay, and we'll see that some contact between
Bobby Hamilton.
Bobby Hamilton.
Yep.
Going in the corner, just a little bit of a contact with the rear of the 11 car.
And we have pit stops now being made by a lot of those up front, including Martin, Labonte, Waltrip, Gordon, Rudd, Craven on back. We'll take a look at the front pit here and see the work being done by the Ted Musgrave Joe Roush crew and Mark Martin.
Joe Roush, Jack brother.
I'm sorry, yes. Joe Roush is a race driver in Indiana.
And the 87 car, Nemechek, has already left pit road, so evidently just put gasoline in the car on right sides. You see Mark can't get out. Martin, the leader, came in, cannot get out. He was blocked in by Earnhardt. And look, Earnhardt came in 30th place, and he'll go out probably about 10th or 12th.
Picking up several positions because of the pit stop. How about that?
Now Nemechek is back in.
John Kernan has more.
Joe Nemechek very carefully coming in for this 4-tire change. Last time in, he couldn't get slowed down quick enough to get into his pit stall. Still a lot of moisture here while the pit stalls are fairly dry. It is still pretty wet down here on the outskirts of pit road. As Dale Earnhardt coming back down pit road. Left side work continuing on Nemechek. He's down. Let's go down to Jeremy Pines.
When Dale Earnhardt came in, he had trouble getting his car all the way in toward the wall and get the left side lug nuts on, so they changed right side tires. Got in line. Now he comes back in and was able to get the left side tires changed. That's one of the reasons that Mark Martin had trouble getting out. Earnhardt couldn't get his car all the way turned to the right in his pit stall, and that, of course, blocked Martin's exit.
So it wasn't as good as it looked. Earnhardt with the second visit. And this is what happened to Mark Martin. You can see that he's boxed in there and had to back up before pulling out. So under caution for the second time tonight, Brett Bodine in the wall in turn number 4. Back with more of the Goodies 500 from Bristol in a moment. Just as you rejoin us, the green comes out and we're back to racing on lap number 58 with Jeremy Mayfield up front, followed by Lake Speed, John Andretti, and Jimmy Spencer. Now those cars did not pit during this caution. They pitted during the first caution.
Exactly. Mayfield, Lake Speed, John Andretti, and Jimmy Spencer all made pit stops during the last caution, so they stayed out on the racetrack. They're up front, right?
You see that Mayfield gets some pressure from Lake Speed in the span car. Some heavy pressure, as a matter of fact. And right behind that, John Andretti gets some heavy pressure from Jimmy Spencer.
Yeah, John's car hadn't really been going too good before. Now he's up there. He's holding up a pack of cars, it looks like. There, as we see good racing up front here with the 2 cars, they pulled away from Andretti.
And as you can see, the rain is beginning to fall once again.
Ooh!
And a hard crash. And it's Brett Bodine once again for the second time. This time he's in the wall in turn number 2.
Man, in front of the leaders.
Wow. Got down off the banking. And everyone avoided him, but it was close as Jeremy Mayfield and Lake Speed came down at full speed. So Brett Bodine has his second crash of the evening within a few laps, and this time the Lowe's machine is really tore up in the rear end.
Yeah, he lost a couple of 3 laps, as a matter of fact, on repairing it here a little bit earlier, and it was Bobby Hamilton again, same driver. Don't know what's going on between those two, but Brett Bodine's getting the worst end of it.
We see that Bobby Hamilton has been black flagged by the NASCAR officials.
He has gone to the rear of the field. Brett Bodine continues out there. Here's a replay of it once again.
We see that the 11 has already smacked the wall as Hamilton goes by.
This is, and there has how close it was as Mayfield and Speed came down in the 36 degrees of banking and saw the car right ahead of them. Brett Bodine in the pits once again. We'll take another break and be right back. For the race, this is only the second NASCAR Winston Cup race he has led in his 40 career starts. He did lead 12 laps at Darlington earlier this year. They're holding the 43 car on pit road. Bobby Hamilton because of his contact with Brett Bodine. There is Jeremy Mayfield and right behind his Lake Speed, then comes Jimmy Spencer, Jeff Gordon, and then this group led by Terry Labonte.
And John Andretti has been caught on the outside, and a lot of cars are going to go by him before he's going to get a chance to get back down on the inside.
That's Dick Trickle beside him at the moment. Morgan Shepherd is looming behind. So is Darrell Waltrip and Mark Martin.
Up in front of that, Jeff Gordon just Jimmy Spencer moved into third place. Terry Labonte behind Spencer.
Here comes Rich Bickle. Up front, we still have Mayfield and Speed at the top of the field. And Lake Speed has not led a lap this year, so if he can make the pass and get into the lead, he'll pick up 5 bonus points for the first time. And the 43 car has just now been released from his penalty box. Jeff Gordon now finds himself in third. Terry Labonte is fourth.
Coach John Andretti back there is still on the outside, and cars are still passing him. He's gone from about 4th back to about 20th and still going back.
Once you get up in that high line, everybody's going to do their best to keep you up there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's no mercy paid out there.
He might be able to get back in line. Yes, he drove down to the inside.
Just ahead of Sterling Marlin. The caution is out, and it could be for rain.
Probably is.
73 laps have been completed.
Yes, it's for rain.
It is indeed for rain. Bill Weber has an update on the leader at the current moment, Jeremy Mayfield.
Hey guys, 2 weeks ago that car Jeremy Mayfield is in was a show car. They took it to Watkins Glen to put it in an auto show up there. They brought it back. Tony Furr said we're going to do some work on this car, and they made it into a short track car. They changed literally everything on it. They've been fast since they got off the truck rather, and onto the track, and they were pretty happy this morning. Jeremy doesn't have a lot of laps here. He missed this race in the spring, but they're excited with their position and their possibilities here tonight. But it was a show car 2 weeks ago.
How about that? So when you see these cars at a shopping center or whatever, and you say, nah, those aren't real race cars, by golly, they can be.
Won't take long.
There is a huge tarp being utilized by the Childress crew down there for Dale Earnhardt.
No, they don't have the big one out yet. They had one a little bit ago that covered his pit area, Jeff Gordon's pit area, and their tires and tools and everything else. I have never seen such a tarp in my life.
Yep.
Last step. Right now it's not neutral.
Michael Walton says right now the car's about neutral.
Just eavesdrop on some radio conversations here, BP, while we're not racing.
Which is exactly what the crew chief always wants to hear. Neutral.
Michael is running in the 7th position at the moment.
There's no extra vent for the windshield yet.
Good said there's no.
Windshield's fine. Yeah, I was just trying to talk them into having somebody so we could dry it when we did come out, but they said no. It dries as soon as you get going. That ain't no big deal. Okay.
Under current NASCAR rules, you're only allowed 7 men across the wall, and you use each one of those men, so they don't have a man to clean the windshield. It has to be done from across the pit wall.
So they're going to pick the speed up to 50.
But you heard Michael say that that is not.
They said pick it up to 50 miles an hour. Try running it hard enough to keep the track as dry as they can, I guess. Cool.
Also eavesdropping on Steve Grissom and his conversation. We'll show you a field summary here while we are under caution and we listen in on the radios. Mayfield started 30th.
A little over 220 on the water. Right at 230 on the hole. The 22 might be coming in right now. All right. There's no tape on it, so keep an eye on it.
A lot of talk goes on between the driver and the spotter And, of course, the crew chief gets in every once in a while. And it's a pretty good hat there, Benny.
That is a great hat.
What, if you were still doing the hat of the week, that would be unique.
Oh, for the want of an umbrella, huh? Well, there's a radar. Jerry, or rather John and Jack are looking at it. John, what's it look like?
What's it look like, Bob? It looks green around here. But I tell you what, you know, we got some cells out here. The movement we've seen has been toward the west. But what's kind of promising, I think, you can see how it's breaking up around. So probably we're going to have some light stuff. We might be just a little more light stuff, don't you think? Yeah. My consultant tells me, yeah, a little more light stuff. The only problem I see on here is we get down to Spartanburg, and it's built quite a bit over the last 35, 45 minutes, having some severe cells down there. But it looks like mostly light stuff for us. So like I said, just cross your fingers, and maybe we'll get this thing in. Now let's go to Dr. Jerry Punch.
While we have a rain shower, let's check in the Rusty Wallace pit with Robin Pemberton. Robin, unfortunately, your car had an early contact with the wall. How bad was it hurt?
Well, it's towed in right now instead of out. It's not handling like it needs to. You can't come in and fix it. They're picking the pace up to 50 miles an hour trying to keep the racetrack dry. It's not right yet, and hopefully later we'll get a chance to work on it.
Is the tow-in the only problem other than the sheet metal damage?
Yeah, as far as we know.
Did you get word from the 3 pit that Dale called in and apologized, saying that he admitted it was his fault?
Yeah, that's really nice of him. We really appreciate it.
That's Robin Pemberton. The Rusty Wallace's crew once again cannot pit because of the speed on pit road. Let's go to Bill Weber.
And I'm here with Robbie Loomis, and to put it politically correct, these guys are steamed. You guys were held for several laps. Robbie, what's the story?
Well, I tell you, I really don't know the story. I guess it's a tough call, you know, up there for NASCAR on these short tracks. You know, that 11 car run us all over the racetrack after he done got loose. He was out of control down there and wrecked. And then he run us all over the racetrack. I guess we got into the back of him. NASCAR made the call to put us in a penalty box. I've seen a lot of these other guys, you know, it happened with the 3 car there earlier. I don't know why it just happens to us, but NASCAR will take care of it, I guess, and things will work their way out.
Okay, he's going to go back to work, but let me tell you, it was pretty heated down here. Richard Petty was involved. They were really taken to task with some of these NASCAR officials down there. They pleaded their case as long as they could, but no good, and they held Bobby Hamilton on pit road, and it was frustrating to watch, and I was standing right there, so I can't imagine what it was like to be a member of the team.
They held him for 5 laps. That puts him back in 35th position, 5 laps down. And they're still talking about it to the NASCAR officials. Jerry, problem with Mark Martin's radio?
Bob, unfortunately, that is the case. The crew now trying to work on a backup helmet. They're changing a visor, and they have some cords. Apparently, Mark can hear Steve Mill and the crew, but they cannot hear him, so they had everyone out here on pit road watching very closely. They are using hand signals to communicate with Mark, and they're all trying to see when he comes by exactly what signal he's giving them. But in the meantime, and as you heard Robin Pemberton say, because the speed has been picked up by the pace car at over 50 miles an hour as opposed to the normal 35, they can't afford to take a chance on trying to come in and change helmets. And a pit stop, they might just lose a lap. So they'll have to wait till they get a chance to come in, change the helmet, and get the radios fixed.
We are under caution because of a rain shower. It's Jeremy Mayfield, Lake Speed, Jeff Gordon, Terry Labonte, and Rich Bickle, the top 5 after 83 laps. Track Facts are brought to you by Quaker State, the intelligent oil for longer engine life.
Last week at Michigan International Speedway, we found out just how important a little bit of gasoline is. Ricky Rudd, remember, he had the problem with the flapper valve in the vent not being open to allow fuel to go in the car. One driver who had just exactly the amount of fuel he needed was Bobby Labonte. As the team praised, he does have enough. Phil Elliott lacked about 1/4 of a gallon making to the end and ran out on the backstretch. Here's a pit stop Bill Elliott made in 1990, and we're going to show you why that they installed the flapper valve. Watch as he leaves with this Ford Thunderbird, the fuel that comes out the back of the car. That might have been a half gallon of gasoline. So how do they keep that gas in the car with the flapper valve? The fuel goes in the tank in the big hose, displacing air in the fuel cell, comes through the vent, and there's the flapper valve that holds the fuel in the tank. Here's the probe that last week wasn't long enough to open that valve. Here's how it works. There's the little valve inside. The probe goes in, opens it. That allows the air to come out. When the car leaves, the valve closes. Well, notice the vent is 1.25 inches in diameter. On a street car, it's about 3/8 of an inch. That's why they're able to put 11 gallons of fuel in just 7-8 seconds. And we see happy birthday, Landon, Ricky Rudds, and Linda's son, 1-year-old today.
Yeah, I remember that. He had to leave the racetrack and got back just in time for the race. Well,
and we can see that fuel mileage is so important in each one of these races, and they had to put those valves in there so we wouldn't spill all that gasoline on pit road. Remember when these cars would leave and all that gasoline would go? Well, but
which is much safer the way it is now.
It is much safer, certainly it is.
And as you indicated, that small amount that spilled out of Elliott's tank there a few years ago would have been enough to take him to the checkered flag last week.
Exactly.
Bill Weber is with Tony Feuer.
Well, Tony, we talked about how your guys have worked so hard. You might have an advantage because this race is running so late. You guys have been working so late at night. What's Jeremy telling you?
Well, right now, you know, he said the field's real good to be leading the race and stuff. The car's working real good and stuff. You know, we just needed track positions, the main thing. That's the reason I bid it a while ago, so that we can move on up. Because we knew the car was pretty quick. We practiced real good today and last practice and stuff. We just didn't do too good qualifying. But, you know, the boy's really doing a good job right now. He's got that RCA Ford right up there where it needs to be.
And it really is a show car.
Yeah, it really is a show car. This car was a show car all year long, and we brought it out for this race here.
Okay, I should say was a show car. Tonight it's a race car. Rusty Wallace back on pit road. The Jerry Punch.
Yeah, and that car's been putting on a pretty good show down there, Bill Weber. Rusty Wallace's show almost ended early, but they have come in now twice under the caution to try to set the left front toe in. They try to get all the hood pins back in. Here comes the pace car down the straightaway, and Rusty is down and away. And I am told they are going to signal 1 to go, and we'll have green next time by, Bob.
That's good news. The lights on top of the pace car are going to be extinguished, and we will go back to racing. We're about lap number 92, looks like.
And we'll see that Jeff Burton in the 8 car, the Rebestis car, will come up. He lost a lap in the pits a moment ago. Caution flag, a couple of caution flags going to Bobby Hamilton.
I'll be ready now.
Bobby Hamilton also 5 laps down. He's pulled up on the inside line.
Here comes the pace car. The crowd is still here despite the rain, and there's
Green.
Jeremy gets a pretty good jump. It's his second Bristol race. He was 21st here last August. He did not qualify for the spring race here in Bristol, but right now Mayfield is at the head of the field.
Apparently Robert Preston lost a lap in the pits. He made several pit stops during this caution period. He must have gone a lap down because he was up there at the front. Right behind the car number 24 of Jeff Gordon.
Update on Robert Presley.
Well, Ned, as you said, Robert been on pit road several times during that caution. They developed a leak in the rear end housing. Charlie Presley and the crew got underneath the car, used a little compound, some sticky stuff, you might say, pushed it up on there. They have told the NASCAR official they think that that's going to hold it and stop the leak.
They should have told the NASCAR official they hope that's going to stop the leak. And it just might. See Lake Speed doing down, trying to take the lead from Jeremy Mayfield.
And an Ocean.
There's Jeff Burton. And he's trying to get one of his laps back. Well, he's only 1 lap down, as a matter of fact, so he's trying to get back to the lead lap.
Tell you what, Tony Furr, we had that conversation with Tony Furr just a moment ago. Now, he has done a wonderful job as crew chief for Jeremy Mayfield. Jeremy loves him, and he enjoys working with Jeremy. And these guys right now have a very good team. Tony Furr and Jeremy Mayfield leading the team.
They have come a long way since the two came together. John, what happened to Jeff Burton that he lost his lap?
Well, Bob, he had their kid a little earlier for left side tires. Thought he had a cut tire going down, but I was just told by a member of the crew that it was Rusty Wallace who relayed to his spotter that he thought Jeff had a tire going down. So their Rusty spotter told Jeff's spotter. Jeff came in. They found out it was not a cut tire. But that's their story down here, and they say they're sticking to it.
Well, in any case, he's back in 33rd spot, a lap down.
And he's running good.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
right up there.
He is running well.
Yeah, he could, if he could pass those cars, he could drive away, I believe. He looks to be a little bit faster, certainly, than Lake Speed. Lake's right there on the main field.
Trying to take a look on the inside. Can't make it.
Don't work on him. Let him know you want it.
He said, well, let him know you want it.
I think Lake probably knows, don't you? Saw the 11 car of Brett Bodine go back in action. He's been in the wall at least twice.
Lake Speed almost got the wall that time as he came off the second corner.
Oh, he's...
Speed is dropping back. Jeremy Mayfield pulled away by a couple of car lengths. I don't know if that's Lake being defensive with Jeff Burton or if his chassis getting a little bit loose or pushing right now. Going away, I should say.
Napa field summary. Mark Martin, our pole sitter, back in the 11th position. Dale Earnhardt is 20th. Wallace back in 29.
Jimmy Spencer's been working on Rich Bickle. Bickle driving the 40 car, Pontiac. Spencer in the number 23. And finally, Jeff Burton was able to get around the number 9, and as Jeremy Mayfield slipped down.
Come on, brother, come on.
And his spotter's coaching him. He wanted to take advantage of the situation. He's going on.
Come on. You're clear.
So Jeff Burton makes the
Got the 43. He's going to be working on you.
Oh, we got to spin. Morgan Shepherd.
Keep digging.
Oh, and John Andretti smacks the wall extremely hard coming off the second corner.
I don't think John knew that Morgan was down there. Yes, there is. There's a caution.
Now, yeah. There was not for a little bit, but
boy, John Andretti came hauling down off the banking in turn 2, and I don't think he saw Morgan, and then went into the wall on the outside.
And we see that Jeff Gordon has taken the lead, so he will get the 5 bonus points. But now Lake Speed is trying to go back in front of him, so I guess NASCAR will have to sort this out as to now Jeff Gordon's going back in front of him.
That's right. Jeff says,
well, now Lake goes back to playing seesaw here.
Meanwhile, they both have passed the pace car, which is trying to pick up the field coming out of the backstretch pit. Here's a replay.
There we see Morgan Shepherd right on the right side, and he gets a little tap from Darrell Walter.
Yep.
And he will spin, and no one hits him. But if this camera will stay there, we'll see John Andretti in a second try to dodge somebody and come off and smack that wall. There he is. He's trying to dodge the 21 car.
And from Morgan Shepherd's in-car roof cam.
So he shouldn't have done any damage to the Sitco Ford.
Yep.
Might have flat spotted the tires. He's going in the pits now, so we can ride with him down pit road and backstretch.
Now watch John Andretti come from the right side of your screen. Ooh, Earnhardt just barely missed him. Or
he did hit him.
There's Andretti. Now he goes up the banking and boom, bangs into the wall.
Well, you're right, Ben. He did hit that wall hard.
Yeah, he did.
Pits are open and several cars coming down the pit road, including Earnhardt, and Jerry Punch is there.
And obviously Earnhardt did get him with the front bumper a little bit. Part of the grill below where it says Monte Carlo had been pushed in, and that was not from the earlier accident with Rusty Wallace. And they will be opening up the back pits as they work on the left side. In fact, there is a part of the door where it's a screen is at the door has been
Mayfield on pit road. It'll be 4 tires on his car. He says he has a fender rubbing, and that could have come when those cars went by him after he surrendered the lead. Also, Andretti is on pit road. They've changed the right side tires, pulled the sheet metal away. Morgan Shepherd has some severe damage to the left rear quarter panel and to the tail section of that car. All 3 of those drivers now return to pit road. Andretti did lose a lap the first time he stopped just a moment ago.
Mayfield rolling back out onto the racetrack. Apparently, Lake Speed is going to win the dispute as to whether he or Jeff Gordon is the leader. NASCAR shows that Lake is up front with Jeff Gordon running in 2nd position. And then Terry Labonte being shown in 3rd. 112 laps out of 500 have been completed here at Bristol in the Goody's 500.
That's exciting, okay? Driving around a racetrack at over 200 miles an hour, that's exciting. These are just flakes.
Well, what do you think?
These are really good. They're crispy, too.
Really?
Yeah, they're mighty good even with nothing on them. What are they?
Hey, Charlie.
Yeah.
Kellogg's Corn Flakes?
How could I be so dumb?
You got 500 miles to think about it.
Kellogg's is proud to sponsor NASCAR champion Terry Labonte.
Ricky Rudd in for another pit stop. Joe Nemechek is also on pit road. Both are rolling at the moment, beating the pace car coming off of turn number 4. And John has an update on Nemechek.
Bob, that was the 4th time that Nemechek has been on pit road. The first time they tried to do a 4-tire change, a lug nut jammed in one of the air guns, so they had to go out. That means they left some lug nuts loose on the left side. Then they came back in, tightened those up, but they didn't get a right rear tire change. Then the left side tires they had to change this time. 4 times in for Nemechek's crew, but they did not lose a lap. Let's go down to Jerry Punch.
And guys, Dale Earnhardt made 2 pit stops, as you watch now from his room camp. He made a first pit stop, they changed tires, and watch Gene Dehart here trying to peel the left rear fender away, and that is where Earnhardt got involved with the car number 21. He was trying to peel the fender away. In fact, possibly the front of the car number 21 peeled part of the left side door open on the GM Goodrich Chevrolet.
So Earnhardt back out on the racetrack in, let's see, where is he? Oh, he's back in 34th position, a lap down. And here's a replay of why we are under caution.
There's Morgan Shepherd right at the right side of the screen, gets a tap from Darrell Walter, and he spins. Now he's going to almost get it straightened out, and right here Earnhardt's going to go by and hit the back of there. Right there is the contact between the 3 and the 21 car.
From Mark Martin's roof cam. Behind Darrell Waltrip, who had the contact with Morgan Shepherd. And the other update is that indeed Jeff Gordon is the leader of the race and not Lake Speed.
But Lake did lead the lap, we understand, and so that'd be the first time that he has led this year.
And Jeff Gordon now has 5 bonus points for leading the race. Valuable points.
On his way to a possible NASCAR Winston Cup championship in '95. Pace car pulls off the racetrack. We're going back to green once again on lap number 122. We've been cautioned for 12 laps because of Morgan Shepherd's spin and maybe some rain also. Jeff Gordon is the leader as Bobby Hamilton tries to get another lap back. He did make up 1 of his 5 that he was penalized for.
On the last caution flag, Morgan Shepherd spun coming off the 2nd corner.
And he did get another one, so he's only 3 laps down. And let us also tell you that although our scoring showed that Dale Earnhardt was down a lap, he is not down a lap. Dale Earnhardt is on the lead lap in 27.
Yeah, I don't know why that flashed up on the scoring there right when you said it while ago, Bob.
See the 33 car, that's Robert Preston, the Skoll car. He is, in fact, a lap down. They've established that.
There are 4 cars that are at least a lap down. Presley and Andretti are 1 lap down. Bobby Hamilton now is 3 laps down, and Brett Bodine is 42 laps down.
Robert Presley, car 33, is in 33rd place.
There is Terry Labonte, who actually is 3rd behind Gordon and Speed. And there is Jimmy Spencer, who is 4th, and Michael Waltrip 5th.
It's a 6th place car. Darrell Waltrip is 7th.
Oh, Terry Labonte must have slipped pretty good coming off of turn 2. He almost lost it, lost about 5 or 6 car lengths, but he straightened it out. There he goes.
12-time winner here at Bristol, Darrell Waltrip, 7 times in this race, 5 in the spring race.
You see Brett Bodine right around the racetrack on the top groove.
41 starts here at the High Banks, 12 wins, 4 pole positions, and has finished in the top 5 25 times, giving him a 61% top 5 average.
That's pretty
like
impressive.
How I figured that out, BP, without my calculator.
I'm impressed.
There is Ted Musgrave. And Bill Elliott, 9th and 10th.
Jeff Bodine, the pole sitter here, wasn't he? Was it this race last year that Jeff was a pole sitter?
Yep.
And he led most of the race, as a matter of fact. He led 168 laps before his engine failed on lap 457 as Terry Labonte takes 2nd.
Well, we just about had a crash down in turn 1 there a moment ago, but it all straightened out as Joe Nemechek was going around with Greg Sachs, and they got together.
We see John Andretti, that crash hit over in turn 2, Ned. We see how slow he's going around the racetrack, so he has some pretty heavy damage to the Kmart car. Once again, there's Bill Elliott, McDonald's car. There's Jeff Bodine we were talking about, and Steve Wilson, the winner last night.
You remember who was on the pole for this race last year? His very last pole position before he retired.
Oh, there he is. That's right.
Got one on the bottom, the 37.
And something's wrong with Ricky Rudd. He's got damage in the front end. Look at
Ken
that.
Schrader and Dale Jarrett get together, but they both straightened it out. And there is damage to Ricky Rudd's car.
He's knocked the fender back on the tire. That's his problem. The right front fender's on the tire. He can't steer it.
And Morgan Shepherd almost spun again down in turn 2. I tell you, it's happening so fast out here, the cameras can't keep up with it, and I can't either.
We can't keep up with it. Let's take a look at that Schrader-Jarrett almost crash.
Well, you see Ken's going to get a run on Dale going down into turn 3. Don't know if Dale knows he's there or not, but Dale does cut down on Schrader. And they touch. Schrader gets out of it. They get straightened out and go on.
By the way, this is Dale Jarrett's 250th NASCAR Winston Cup race. Now let's see what happened to Rudd. And what happened to Morgan Shepherd.
That's the one I was hollering about there a moment ago. You can see he gets a little tap from Rich Bickle. Bickle gets a little tap from Earnhardt.
Man, that was a beautiful save.
Wow, it really was.
So who did Rudd hit?
Rudd hit the 87 car, Nemechek, the Burger King car, and Ricky Rudd took his car behind pit wall. They're working on the car now behind pit wall. And look at that left rear sticking out on the 21 car. There we see Rudd's crew working on that car.
And Jerry Punch is right there.
Well, what happened to Rudd about 7 or 8 laps ago down in turn 1? He came into contact with the car number 31. That was Greg Sachs, who had jammed on the brakes to try to keep him running over another car and had gotten sideways. Now, Rudd ran into the back of the 31 and pushed the right front of his Ford in, and apparently they have broken the radiator. They have burst the radiator. They're going to take the radiator loose, replace it, but unfortunately he's losing a lot of valuable laps here under the green flag.
Looks like Rudd will have to wait on his first win of the 1995 season. He has not victored yet. He did, however, have a strong race last weekend in Michigan. Started second and led 46 laps before being sidelined.
And he's won a race every year since way back. 11, 12, 13 years ago.
Jimmy Spencer has just taken over the 3rd spot from Lake Speed. They were watching Mark Martin, their pole position winner, trying to get by Dick Trickle. Race for 6th spot.
There's a Cranfield summary. Gordon is your leader.
See Trickle and Martin. John Andretti tried running on the bottom side of the racetrack. Felt like he'd be better served to get out of the way if he'd move up a little bit, so he's done that.
Benny, they told him in the drivers' meeting.
Oh, and Jeremy Mayfield. thought he was going to hit the wall, but he didn't. There he goes.
They were told in the driver's meeting if they were getting lapped to move to the high side of the racetrack, let the faster cars go by on the inside. So that's what he's doing.
Well, Benny, if he didn't hit the wall, he sure tried.
Watch this as he goes in the corner. Here's Earnhardt on the inside. You go down in the corner. And Jeremy, I don't think he hit the wall.
I don't think he did either. Great job of driving there.
Wow.
They almost made that a show car again.
Got a donut there on the right side. Jeremy Mayfield led this race earlier. And John is with Robert Presley.
A lot of smoke coming from the rear end of Robert Presley's car. They pulled it behind the wall going to work. Robert had a rear end leak on the car, and it looks, are they changing the rear end now?
Yeah, it just seems like if anything's going to happen, it's happened to us here lately, you know. Rear end gasket was leaking a little bit, and finally lost all the oil and burned it up. We knew it was a matter of time.
Well, Robert Presley behind the wall sitting patiently in his car as Charlie Presley, his brother, and the crew are going to change rear end gears.
And so Robert sits patiently while on the racetrack. Earnhardt and Wallace are running together again, and that was a clean pass by Dale.
Well, I think that Rusty realizes that right now Earnhardt is a faster car, and he's not going to hold him up.
They're running 20th and 21st. Dale just took 20th spot from Rusty.
Rusty's still fighting that problem apparently with the toe end not exactly the way it needs to be.
There is the leader of the race, Jeff Gordon, looking for 2 in a row here at Bristol on the high banks. He won the spring race.
He's pulling away from the second place car of Terry Labonte, but that 43 car, Bobby Hamilton, is still able to stay out in front of him.
Hamilton now is 4 laps down. Jeff Gordon leading here at Bristol as a light sprinkle continues to fall. We'll be right back. Back at Bristol International Raceway in the Goody's 500. It's hard to believe, but it is college football time. And on Thursday, we'll begin our CFA action with Nebraska against Oklahoma at 7:30 Eastern Time. The Cornhuskers travel to Stillwater to face Oklahoma State, and Dr. Jerry Punch will be on the broadcast team once again for the CFA games.
Jeff Gordon now beginning to run into some heavy traffic, and he finally did get around Bobby Hamilton, put Bobby down 4 laps again, but now coming up on Rich Bickle in the 40 car, which is currently being shown in 29th position.
And Greg Sachs in 31.
So we see while Gordon is trying to fight this traffic that Terry Labonte, the Kellogg's car, has just about caught him. At least he's closed the gap by 50% anyway.
Yeah, he's moved in much closer than he was.
Here's Bickle trying to get by the 31 car. Meanwhile, here comes Hamilton again. He wants to get that lap back.
We're checking the on-track interval between Jeff Gordon and 16th place Dale Earnhardt. The interval has been reduced from 9.4 to 7.4 seconds.
And that is primarily because Gordon has caught these cars and is losing time on the racetrack. His lap speeds have fallen off a good half a second a lap.
We'll see Earnhardt and Kenny Schrader, the Budweiser car.
Up ahead. It's John Andretti to your right.
Boy, John Andretti's looking at 335 laps in the car. Man, how depressing, yeah.
A little contact there, looked like, between Earnhardt and Gary Cope. Schrader trying to get to the inside, but couldn't hit.
No. Thought he had the nose up there and was going to be able to make the pass, but couldn't quite do it.
13th spot. He started 7th.
Camera on top of Earnhardt's Good Race Chevrolet as he's chasing down Dale Jarrett, the Mexico car.
This whole crowd is gaining on Jeff Gordon. Gordon because he has never been able to get around the 40 car of Rich Bickle.
It's tough to pass on this racetrack even if you're the leader and have the fastest car.
Dale goes around Dale back there for 12th place.
Earnhardt moved up another position, passing Dale Jarrett. Earnhardt has led more Goody's 500 laps than any other active driver. And he picks up another one going to the inside of Jeff Bodine.
Well, I'll tell you, he is really moving. So hard for him to pass, but whether they just move him over and let him go, they're not fighting him too hard. See how long Bill Elliott fights him.
You see Darrell Walton up there high on the racetrack, high out of the groove. I think Earnhardt stopped. I think he stopped since the other cars. His tires might be a little bit fresher in some of this competition.
You're right. They are.
Earnhardt has not led a lap so far, but has been as high as 4th and as low as 34th. Trying to move into the top 10 here behind Bill Elliott.
Ken Schrader finally made that pass on Derek Cope that we saw him try to make a little while ago.
Here's Dale working to the inside of Elliott, and he's got it.
Tried it.
Oh, and man, Elliott makes a great save.
How did he save that car? And is the left rear tire flat? That's the next question. And Earnhardt was able to get by Ted Musgrave as well.
And there is the interval between Dale Earnhardt and the leader, Jeff Gordon, who has yet to get by Rich Bickle, and Bickle is sideways. Now, I thought maybe Jeff would be able to go to the inside and put him a lap down, but nope. Earnhardt just got by Mark Martin as we watch Jeff Gordon.
Earnhardt's going to be up front in just a minute.
Sure is. He is a man on the move.
He is gaining a lot. Well, you can see how much he has gained on Jeff Gordon.
Oh, and Jeff Gordon almost crashed coming off the second corner. He got a little bit high, and Labonte looked like he was going for the lead, and we can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 all nose to tail. Jeff Gordon looked like he was going to try to pass Rich Bickle on the outside up in turn 2. Let's see if we can see it. We see him going the corner a little bit high, and about right here he's going to lose the back end.
Oh, and Bobby Hamilton goes inside and again gets another lap back. And Dale Earnhardt, we often are criticized for showing too much of Dale Earnhardt, but when you're passing cars here in Bristol like Dale is, it's the story of the race right now.
There's no doubt about it. The man is really on a tear.
He is.
He gets awfully close to Dick Trickle there. He said, I better back off. I don't have to go to the back again.
Trickle is running 6th.
And how in the world he gets so close to these cars?
Trevor's just put a lap down. Morgan is in the 30th position.
Ricky Rudd moves back out of the racetrack, and they call this guy the Intimidator, and he's intimidated Dick Trickle and others tonight. I wish he could.
Green car looking low, clear.
Rain away, I should say.
There's Michael Walker spotter. Michael is in 5th place. Earnhardt is 6th. Jeff Gordon the leader. Terry Labonte.
Low side. 17 right behind him now.
Michael tries to get in, but he can't do it because Mark Martin's going to go by as well.
Lost 3 positions.
And Jeff Gordon has finally been able to get by Rich Bickle. There might have been some contact. I was not watching. I did see Bickle save the car as he came off the second corner. Let's watch as they go down in the corner. Here we see the 24.
Yep.
Probably was a little bit of contact as he entered the corner.
And Dale Earnhardt is trying to take over third position. He's right behind Jimmy Spencer. Now he's beside and past Jimmy Spencer. And his sights now are on the 5-car Labonte, which is about 3 car lengths ahead and closing quickly.
This is absolutely amazing, guys.
This is a real performance.
Yeah, this racetrack that we say is so tough to pass on. He's just driving right on by. Got a great race car.
He does have a great race car.
He's not passing just back markers. Now he's second.
Now, Terry Labonte didn't put up a fight.
No.
He just absolutely did not put up a fight.
You know, a while ago when the fans were cheering that Earnhardt was sent to the back of the line, now the fans are standing, cheering, and saluting the performances that this man is turning in.
You know, he did the same thing here in the spring. He started about 25th or something, and it had worked his way up to 3rd place before he made contact with Jeff Burton going down in turn 3.
Well, he does have a little bit of distance between himself and the leader, Jeff Gordon, so we're going to take a commercial break here and see if indeed Earnhardt can close in on the leader, Jeff Gordon, here at the Goody's 500 in Bristol. The commercial break was too long. Earnhardt did it. He took the lead from Jeff Gordon, but we have it to show for you.
Here they are coming off the 4th corner, start-finish line, down in turn 1, and he takes the lead. And I mean, Dale Earnhardt has a great race car tonight, but I think that he has fresher tires by about 20 or 30 laps fresher than Jeff Gordon and some of the other competitors.
Well, that accounts for a bit of the performance, but man, this has been something. On lap 116, he was 29th, and now at 195, he is in the lead.
That's awesome, isn't it?
Yep. Jerry Punch has more from Earnhardt's pit.
Well, Bob, actually, I was down in the Jeff Gordon pit checking on. Now, Gordon last pitted on lap 52. That's when he changed tires. Earnhardt came in on lap 112, so you guys are exactly right. His tires are 60 laps fresher than anyone else running up in the top 5.
Wow, 60 laps, though, so.
Yeah, and another thing, too, there's some of these drivers, we've gone pretty far here now on the green flag. They're going to have some green flag pit stops coming up here. He said lap 52. They've run 148 laps since then. Those were under caution, but where do you go here, 160, 70 laps?
And it's kind of unusual to go this long without a caution.
Especially Bristol.
Yep.
And close quarters as we run here, as these drivers run.
Here's a Fram field summary. Is in the wall on the backstretch to the inside. The second time tonight, Rusty has met the concrete, and this appears to be much more serious than the first.
Oh boy.
And the caution flag that we talked about being absent has displayed itself.
Shouldn't have mentioned it.
Yep.
Rusty's trying to get the Miller Genuine Draft started. He does.
Rusty Wallace has not had a finish lower than 7th in the last 23 short track races.
Wow. Here comes Earnhardt down pit road for a pit stop.
And the others on the lead lap. And there's a triple split for you, and here's Jerry.
And as you guys said, this caution is a break for Jeff Gordon and Terry Labonte. You see the 3, 24, and 5 cars, a triple pit stop, watching all 3 cars. Now, Gordon would have had to come in and pit in about 18 laps, so this caution flag was definitely a break for the 24 and the 5. Left side control. He is down and away, 19-1. And 19-1 for Earnhardt, as he is also down and away. 21.6 for Terry Labonte and the Kellogg's crew.
And Mark Martin, I'll have to give Steve Meal and that crew a great call because they moved up to 3rd place on the pit stop.
Mike Wallace out in 4th, then Labonte in 5th.
Mike Walter, yep.
So we have completed 206 laps now, and we are under caution. Here's John Kernan.
As you see Joe Nemechek's crew working on the car, you can see a little bit of that contact that he had out there earlier, and I'm not sure if maybe the overflow hose might have been snapped, but or it could have actually been the filler hose might have a leak in it, because when they went to fill up the car, you can see all of that fuel right there on pit road, and it's still leaking out of that, directly out of the trunk area. So we'll have to check this out, see exactly what the problem is. But Nemechek right now, sitting in his car, they're sitting here on pit road with another problem for them.
That, of course, was a result of the contact that Nemechek and Ricky Rudd had quite a few laps ago.
Exactly.
Ted Musgrave, we understand, had a problem exiting the pits. Let's take a look at it in replay. Finishing up here on the left side. Jack goes down.
He moves out. Ooh, yeah, that tire came out. I don't think it did any damage. It looks like that it hit the side of the door.
So under caution once again, we get set for the restart with Dale Earnhardt up front, followed by Jeff Gordon and Mark Martin. ESPN Speed World from Bristol International Raceway in Tennessee is being brought to you by Pennzoil, the motor oil that works like liquid ball bearings. Taco Bell, tacos, burritos, nachos, and a whole lot more. And by Allied Signals Fram filters, you can pay a little now or a lot later. We have just gone green once again. It is Dale Earnhardt up front, closely pursued by Jeff Gordon, and then Mark Martin is in 3rd position. Let's take a look at our pit summary. Earnhardt and Gordon stayed the same. Terry Labonte fell 3 positions. Darrell Waltrip stayed the same, and Sterling Marlin came in 15th and comes out in 7th position.
But he's lost a lot of those positions. Sterling Marlin, I don't know, his car just didn't come up to speed on the first few laps. Still not going real good, but he's dropped back a number of positions now back to 10th.
John Kernan has more.
On the pit stop, I'm not sure if there's a problem with the car now, but let me tell you what they did. They decided track position was very important. So they decided to go with right side tires only. And Sterling getting a little push there from Blake Stevens. They come out of turn 4, gets up on that high side. He's probably going to lose some more spots. So maybe it wasn't the right strategy with those worn left side tires. The car is just a little too hard to drive.
I think you're right, John.
Forced to the outside, and here comes the line to his inside. Bobby Labonte passes him. There's Mike Wallace. Let's show you once again what caused the most recent caution. Bill Elliott with a problem in 2.
It's like the right front tire goes flat. As he came off the corner, and we can see that he almost flipped over in the McDonald's Ford, and Rusty Wallace is going to come in here someplace.
There he is. Now from the roof cam of Schrader.
Jarrett went on the inside, Schrader went on the outside. Both of them got by okay.
Boy, he climbed that wall pretty good, didn't he?
He did.
Really did.
Wow.
You see that Earnhardt is driven away from Jeff Gordon by about 10 car lengths.
Both of them pulled away from Mark Martin. Now Mark decided to do some lap traffic there for a number of laps after the green flag.
Dale Earnhardt last won this race in 1988. Mark Martin is in 3rd position. The 28 car of Dale Jarrett is moving up. He is currently 8th.
Right by, there we see Darrell Walter and Terry Labonte. Darrell Walter, his crew must have had a fabulous pit stop. He gained a couple of spots as Labonte's trying to get that spot back. And that is for 4th. And he will take 4th place. Darrell back to 5th place. Now Darrell can look in his rearview mirror and see his little brother.
Now here's an AutoZone off track time, and you can see there why Marlin picked up so many positions. Total off-track time was 35.1 for Terry Labonte. Sterling Marlin, however, his total was only 26.8.
But it did work for Sterling Marlin because he has worked his way all the way back to the 24th position.
Yep.
And it won't be over 15 or 20 laps until Dale Earnhardt will be catching him a lap down at the rate he's going now, at least.
Labonte fourth. Darrell Waltrip is in the top 5. No big surprise there. We understand that Darrell had a 17.4-point pit stop, 4 tires from the backstretch. That's pretty impressive. I wondered how he got up there because as we watched them come off the front pit, we didn't see Darrell, and all of a sudden he was 4th in the lineup. And Jerry Punch is with Rusty Wallace.
Well, the man who won here a year ago is out of his car, and Rusty, the evening got sort of wild before it even got started.
Yeah, it just wasn't my night, I don't guess. I started off with a spin coming off a turn forward between me and Earnhardt. Got the lap back, got going, and the towing got knocked out. We got it readjusted. Then a 94 car crashed coming off of turn 2 there. And when that happened, the 8 car couldn't get slowed down. We saw it. I got slowed down. He didn't see it. And it wasn't his fault. Just wanted to race some deals.
How bad is the car hurt? Can you get back in?
Well, it tore all the steering linkage up, but the frame's not bent or anything. So we're going to try to get some laps and try to get some points.
Well, he just manages to keep a good attitude. The guys behind us, meanwhile, are using a torch to try to rebuild the front of the car while Rusty stands here and watches him wait.
And we're watching the Waltrips on the racetrack right now. Darrell closely pursued by Michael.
Darrell is in 5th place, and Michael 6th. There's the leader. Earnhardt still pulling away from Jeff Gordon.
His average finish in the Goody's 500 is 6th, and that is best among the active drivers. And as I said, he has won 8 times, most recently in this race, 1988. Been quite a night for Dale Earnhardt. Meanwhile, Jeff Gordon is in 2nd position. And Earnhardt is coming up on a whole bunch of traffic.
We can see also, we talked about Sterling Marlin falling back in the Kodak Film Chevrolet, the orange car, yellow car. Jimmy Spencer, the Smoking Joe car, also, who was running up front in the top 5, has fallen back. Is currently in a 23rd spot.
He made a couple of pit stops on that caution, Benny. He came out of the pits good in about 10th or 11th place, and then the next lap he came back into the pits. I'm talking about Jimmy Spencer. So that gave him bad track position. Put him back in the back.
Oh, Jeremy Mayfield spins coming off the corner, and also the 29 car spins, and they're still.
Good job.
Almost a track. Man. Earnhardt did weave his way through unscathed. But there are a lot of damaged cars, including Dick Trickle and Jeremy Mayfield.
Jimmy Spencer just spun coming into turn 4. Boy, this car is really banged up. Now, there's Spencer, but that 98 car.
The right rear tire's flat on the 23 car is the reason he spun out. And 15 car looks like he has some pretty heavy damage. Also, the 98 car, Jeremy Mayfield, we can see that the RCA car is torn up pretty doggone good. Wow. Look at the radiator. All that water coming out of the radiator.
He's trying to get going again on the backstretch, but it's not going to work for him, I don't think. Let's take a look at it. This was almost a track blocking incident.
There we see the 29 car of Grissom just getting in the back of Jeremy Mayfield. Now, the 12 car, Derek Cope, runs in the back of Grissom. Grissom spins.
Trickle hits the 98 car.
And the 43 car runs into both of them.
Craven is involved.
And there's Spencer comes in. That's where he got his flat tire. Sterling Marlin came up there and stopped.
Now this is what Dale Earnhardt saw.
I didn't think there was that much room over there.
Man, I didn't like his room there.
You know, he almost got nailed by Morgan Shepherd, didn't he?
And Morgan was trying his best to get a lap back.
Earnhardt just passed him the lap before.
Jeff Gordon had a tough time weaving his way through, but did. Jeremy Mayfield, however, took the brunt of that incident, and he is out of the car okay. But it does bring about another caution here at Bristol. The 8 car of Jeff Burton is also in turn number 2 momentarily stopped. Now he gets going again. I'm not sure what that was all about. Are you?
I don't think the car was just parked down there.
And the damn, you know, it had those starter spins, but it won't catch nothing. That's what it was doing. I finally jabbed in reverse and let it roll back in it, and then it's okay.
So he cut off.
Yep.
Okay.
Nearing the halfway point of the Goody's 500, it is still Dale Earnhardt at the front of the field, followed by Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, Terry Labonte, and Darrell Waltrip under caution. Kinds of motorsports on ESPN and ESPN2, beginning with Thursday Night Thunder, the USAC Sprints in Louisville, Kentucky. ESPN2 has live coverage of Winston Cup qualifying at Darlington Friday afternoon for the Southern 500. Dave Despain has the update on all stock car activity with NASCAR Today Saturday morning. Later on ESPN Saturday afternoon, the Gatorade 200 Busch Grand National race from the track Too Tough to Tame. Join me for Speed Week at a different time Saturday night at 6 o'clock. The go-karts take to the Major Taylor Velodrome on 2 Saturday Night Lightning at 8:30 Eastern. 2 also has the half-hour pre-race show with Dave and Alan Bestwick at 12:30 Sunday. It's Race Day America Sunday on both networks. The Southern 500 with regular coverage plus in-cars on 2. And the same will immediately follow with the Indy cars at Vancouver at 5 o'clock Eastern. All this next week, plus the debut of RPM Tonight on 2 Sunday night, 8 o'clock. Sounds like a busy weekend next weekend for us, huh?
Boy, it sure does. There's some nice folks.
Bill Weber is with Jeremy Mayfield.
Well, we talked about it being a fast and violent track. You had a fast car with a violent finish, but a great run. I know you're disappointed, but tomorrow morning you'll remember how good you were.
Yeah, you know, I hate it for the RCA4 tonight. You know, we seemed like we had a good car there to start with, and we got up front by pit stops and cut a tire down and kind of got back and lost our track position. And it's just so fast here, you know, it don't take much. A little bit of bump's going to knock you out, and it's just racing.
Yeah, you got a little bit of a lesson out there too, Jeremy, when some of those faster cars wanted to get by you. We heard Tony talking to you a little bit. You learned a lesson on the track about how to move some traffic.
Yeah, it's just an experience thing, you know. I just got to keep working at it and just get tougher, you know. I mean, that's what it's all about, and just gain some experience and hopefully get them next year here.
And don't bet against that, because that's a rising star in this Winston Cup Series. Jeremy Mayfield done for tonight, but we'll see him again next week at Darlington, guys.
He, among others, were knocked around like billiard balls in that accident over there on the backstretch. We'll show you the perspective of Morgan Shepherd now from his roof cam.
Wow. Just threaded that needle and drove right on through there, didn't he?
Earnhardt was unbelievable.
Earnhardt was unbelievable, picking his way through.
We can see, you know, Randy Owens has a song that he says there's angels among us that look over us. Well, that angel riding with Dale Earnhardt is a great driver. You know that?
Well, Jeff Gordon did the same thing.
Yeah,
he followed him right through in the same area.
Bad news was that Sterling Marlin lost a lap. Jerry?
Guys, after Earnhardt had a disappointing 35th place finish in Michigan last week, he wanted to pick the spirits of the guys up and let them know that luck was still on their side. So on Monday, he took a live possum to the Richard Childress shop and turned it loose to everyone's surprise. And the guys started laughing and chuckling as this possum danced around between all the cars. And one of the crew members said, "Hey, now how are we going to catch this rascal?" Earnhardt said, "Hey, no problem at all." He walked right up to the possum and picked it up by the tail and carried it out. He said, "Hey, you've heard of good luck horseshoes? We've got a good luck possum."
Good story. Well, let's see what that lucky possum did for him as we take a look at his perspective.
There just isn't room. Watch this. Man, but there was room. That's amazing.
Just enough room for the car to go through, and Earnhardt found it.
Like I said, that angel is a heck of a driver. Earnhardt, Gordon, and Martin, top 3 in the points. No, Sterling Marlin isn't in there, is he? Terry Labonte, the Waltrip boys 5th and 6th. Derek Cole back in 15th spot. Lake Speed started 36th up to 14th.
John Kernan has a report on Sterling Marlin.
Well, remember last time Sterling came in the makeup track position. They took on right side tires only, went back out, and went straight to the back. Now he's a lap down. They came in under this caution, changed 4 tires. They found out, guys, the left front tire was completely worn out on Marlin's car.
And as we indicated, he is a lap down now, lining up to the inside.
Now he has fresher tires than does Earnhardt, Jeff Gordon, so maybe Sterling can get that lap back. And the reason he lost a lap, he stopped over there in the crash. And
he was not far. I mentioned that he was not far in front of Earnhardt. Earnhardt was coming up on him at a pretty good pace. But he did stop for that crash, and that way Earnhardt get by, put him a lap down. Okay, we're ready to go racing again, guys.
Green comes out on lap 245. We were cautioned for 10 laps.
That 31 car is Greg Sachs and Jimmy Spencer smoking.
Oh, and he has contact with Greg Sachs and sends him into the wall, and Spencer also crashes, and so do a lot of others.
And Mark Martin, the pole sitter, goes around about 2 times.
Like Darrell Waltrip also was involved.
Dale Jarrett had to stop to keep from being involved and lost a bunch of positions.
Rich Bickle was involved.
We can see there's some pretty good damage to the right side of the Valvoline Ford and also damage to the Kendall oil car.
Here it is again.
There we see the smoke in the 23 car. I don't know what that is. It looks like the right rear tire smoking. But he tries to go on the outside of the 31 car, and they make contact. And here comes Mark. And the 4 car is in the back of Mark, and he goes up, almost gets Labonte. Terry Labonte was fortunate.
Yeah, Mark got knocked around pretty good.
Darrell Waltrip came to a dead stop there also.
There's another angle.
Not sure what that smoke is in the 23 car, but anyway, nevertheless, he's going to make contact with the 31 right there. That's Greg Sachs, by the way, in the 31. And here comes Mark and Sterling and the 40 and the 87. And the Waltrip boys stopped.
Mark Martin is on pit road. Here's Jerry.
The damage primarily to the front and to the right side. Martin's in cold speed, right side tires, and will work on it as he leads after changing right side tires. However, what they do down in Darrell Waltrip's pit.
Well, they're going to change 4 tires back here, Jerry. Actually, they're going to get through that time, put some fuel, and Darrell will be back. They're going to go ahead and pull away the sheet metal. He's going to have it rubbing on the left front, and he'll be back in next time around. He has the last pit back here, so he will have a slight advantage trying to get back out. Mark Martin back on pit road, Jerry.
And they thought better of it, Bill, and decided to go ahead and come back in while the caution stayed out and change left side tires. He saw all that debris that he had to go through up there, and plus he looped the car around and probably flat spotted the tires. But as far as the sheet metal damage is concerned, it is the front bumper that's pushed in where it says Thunderbird, and they are still trying to beat the right front fender away from the tire. A big concern when they go back to green, make sure that there may be a tire rubbing in the right front. How about back with you, Bill Weber?
The 12-time winner here at Bristol back on pit road. They shoved the fueler back in the rear of the car. Now they pull the sheet metal away. They're going to go to the left side. They're putting on left side tires. Little prone to getting the front left tire off. Now they pull the sheet metal away. Still working to make sure they can get that Goodyear Eagle back on there. The front sleeves have been knocked out of the car. The hood is bashed down on the Western Auto Chevrolet. They continue to hammer away at that sheet metal in the front left wheel well. Now a drink for Darrell, waiting for the cars to come back around to the caution. The left front back on, tighten the lugs. They have to come back in. He's got some loose sheet metal on the front left side of that car.
And Darrell Waltrip's going to have a problem overheating because we can see the nose of the car. The grill is mashed together, and also he's closed up the opening in the bottom. I don't think he's going to get enough air in to keep the water cool.
He has never dropped out of a race here at Bristol or anything other than engine problems, never for a crash. Here is the look from Mark Martin's car.
Well, that hole just closed up on him, and it closed up for a lot of people back there.
So now we understand how Darrell Waltrip's nose got beat up.
1 lap to green.
And in 1 lap, we'll have run exactly halfway. So this race
will be official very soon. John?
Yes, it will.
Dale Jarrett pitted that time for 4 tires, no damage to the car. They just were pretty far back after that and wanted to go ahead and take on fresh tires. But more importantly, in another couple of laps, Larry McReynolds' wife is going to call all those hotel rooms. Remember back during our rain-filled show?
That's right.
Larry had to guarantee those, told his wife, said, as soon as we hit lap 251, call those hotel rooms and cancel the reservations.
Once again, let's take a look at Morgan Shepherd going through this crash. Looks like he only had a little bit of contact with Dave Marcus. The green comes out. We are back to racing. And we are also halfway. Next time around, it will be an official race, and we'll not have to worry about coming back tomorrow. And it looks like we may be able to go 500 because the rain is holding off.
I think we're going to be here tomorrow.
Eastern time, it will be tomorrow in an hour and about 7 minutes. Remember, Sterling Marlin there is second in line, but he's a lap down. Who was that, Steve Grissom?
Yeah, he got very sideways.
John Andretti and Jimmy Spencer have contact. Now Andretti and Michael Wallace are pounding on each other.
Musgrave in the 87 car of Nemechek. The Interstate battery car and Derek Cope. Mane and tail.
Yep.
18 speed cars on the lead lap.
Marlin getting a lap back.
Yeah.
Oh, and Jeff tried to follow him, but he couldn't quite get it in there.
Had to slam on the brakes to keep from hitting him. First three running right together on the racetrack now. Earnhardt, Gordon, and Labonte, and Michael Waltrip isn't too far back.
That was a courtesy move. Allowed Sterling Marlin to get back in the lead.
Could very well be. Piece of debris on the racetrack right at the start-finish line. And see Doyle Ford calling up the tower now and telling them what he thinks it is. And if it's, I guess if he feels like it's a piece of metal, they will throw the caution.
Well,
and the caution flag comes out.
Yep.
So I guess Doyle told him that it was a piece of metal and on the caution to go out and pick it up. And Sterling Marlin now gets his lap back.
Yep. 243 laps to go. Our 9th caution of the evening is waving over Bristol. Back at Bristol, where pit road is now open, here comes Earnhardt, Gordon, Labonte, Michael Waltrip, and Ted Musgrave in for their pit stops.
Also Jeff Bodine in. He's down by the Union 76 bulb. Jerry punches in Earnhardt's pit.
And they opted to come in and go ahead and change 4 tires. You saw as Gordon is out, and so is Terry Labonte. Here goes Labonte. He's the first out, then Gordon, and then Michael Waltrip. But they're going ahead and change all 4 tires and clean the windshield. Now the Goodwin Chevy is down and away.
I guess they figure as good as that car was when he came from the back to the front earlier here that
Go
would
ahead
have a whole lot to lose. There's Bobby Labonte in the pits.
We've seen him pay a lot of attention to the windshield, but I haven't seen any rain here lately. I don't know exactly, but Earnhardt's crew was paying a lot of attention to the windshield, as was Bobby Labonte's crew.
By the way, for those of you tuning in for Sports Center, we are going to go well over our expected off time because we are just past the halfway point of this race that was delayed by rain. And so Sports Center will be following, of course, our live coverage of this event. We're on lap 261 out of 500.
And if you've never seen a stock car race before, hang on, folks. You'll enjoy it.
This is fun. Here is Earnhardt's pit stop.
David Smith puts a jack on the car. Andy Petrie changing that right front tire. Oh! He tried to jump the tire and almost fell. Jerry?
As you saw that David Smith out almost slipping, getting around. Actually, what they were going to do is come in and just take on 2 right side tires. But Dale told Andy Petrie, he said, look, our car works better when you put all 4 new tires on. So they decided to go ahead and change all 4 on the Goodwin Chevrolet. Meanwhile, John Curtin is caught up with Ward Burton.
Jerry Ward has climbed out from his car, and Ward, y'all look like you're running pretty good, but what put you out? What put you behind the wall?
Well, saw a couple of guards get up together out there in 3 and 4 in that restart. Missed the wreck, came back around. A couple of guys were dicing around for position. Must have ran over a bumper guard or something and cut the oil pressure belt in the motor. But man, the NBA car was coming on. Every time we make a change, it got better. We were past halfway, still in the lead lap, running 13th. We might have had a top 10, but we'll get them next week at Darling.
I was going to ask you, new team, new ride for you. You looking really forward to going to the Lady in Black?
Yeah, I really am. All these guys take racing real serious. We got a great sponsor. We got Pontiac Chevrolet behind us. We're going to be all right.
All right, Ward Burton still with a smile, but his car is parked behind the wall.
It is being taken behind the wall at the moment as it goes down toward turn number 1. There you can see a little bit of moisture falling, not a whole lot though. Well, this is Bristol, isn't it?
Missing the rear bumper.
Yeah.
And we're going to have some green flag racing here in just a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if we mentioned it or not, but Rusty Wallace is back up there too. There's some more of those cars. There's Jeremy Mayfield back out there.
Now that really looks like a modified.
Yeah, it does. Anything for points.
Here's Derek Cope is the leader of the race.
Right. And this is the first time that he has ever led here at this facility. He is in his 16th race. That's Spencer underneath him. Joe Nemechek is third in line, then Lake Speed. But Lake Speed is actually second in the serial scoring.
Derek Cope had a good qualifying run. Qualified about 10, I believe. 12, someplace in there.
As a matter of fact, that race car, maybe not that particular one, but that team held the track record. Yesterday, John Brown set the record here in 1992. Bobby Allison.
We see Spencer, the second car, the yellow car. Something is bottoming out on that car. He went down in turn 1 a little bit ago, and something bottomed out, and he went up the racetrack. We see Nemechek has been able to get by.
Spencer is 2 laps down, being shown to be in position. There's only one car that is 1 lap down, and that is Nemechek. Everybody else is 2 or more laps down that are not in the lead lap, and there are 18 cars in the lead lap.
Let's take a look at our Budweiser race recap. Derek Cope is currently the leader. He has led only 6, however, of the 266 circuits. We've had 7 lead changes, 9 caution periods for 72 laps, and the average speed is a little more than 77 miles an hour. Taking up 5 bonus points for leading the race include current points leader Jeff Gordon, then Earnhardt, Mayfield, Martin, Cope, Speed, and Craven. And finally, those that are out of the race, only 3 cars: Ricky Rudd, Dick Trickle, and Ward Burton.
There's Jeff Burton, Ward's younger brother, going by Jimmy Spencer.
Clear.
Never see Mark Martin, who was their pole sitter, the Valvoline Ford.
And he doesn't seem to be hurting down from that crash that he got in. Benny, the car seems to be working well for him. He's running in 5th position. And moving right along.
And going by Spencer. Great match for 1 car.
He's in 3rd. Jeff Burton 4th and Mark Martin 5th. Of that group, here's Michael Waltrip, Jeff Bodine, and Bobby Labonte.
12th, 13th, and 14th. The yellow car, Michael Waltrip, has been running up in the top 5 most of the evening. And we can see that Jeff Gordon is right in front of him, so Jeff Burton, the bestest car by Rick Master.
There's Burton in 3rd. There goes Mark Martin 4th. Darrell Walton will go by and pick up 5th. Rick got down into the groove. Dale Jarrett's going to go by him as well. Jarrett in the 6th.
Again, if you're just tuning in, expecting to see Sports Center, we were, and Burton gets wide coming out of the corner. If you're tuning in for Sports Center, we had a rain delay at this event, and we've got 223 laps to go. Sports Center will follow.
Later. 25 laps.
Don't know if there's anything wrong with Jeff Burton's car, but he got caught up on the outside, and there's Michael Waltrip getting caught up on the outside, losing some.
Hang in there. That's 7 did it. You're right.
Evidently, it had some contact with Jeff Bodine. You will see.
Yeah, it did.
Yep.
Ooh, and the 18 ran in the back of the 7 car.
Here.
There's Rusty Wallace, who is 47 laps down in 33rd after 2 incidents with the wall. Ted Musgrave right behind Ken Schrader.
Derek Cope is widening his lead. Got himself a good lead out there over Lake Speed.
Set hose on the window net of the 25 car. That's to get air in the car to go in the helmet. It's for fresh air to go in the car for the driver.
Oh, yeah, right.
About 130 miles an hour.
Well, you know, we were talking earlier about the great record that Dale Earnhardt has in terms of finishing the top 5 here with a 50% average, 16 in 32 races. There's a person who has even a better top 5 finishing average here at Bristol, finishing in the top 5 in 17 of 20 races. Any idea who that might be? As
17 of 20, that's pretty good.
Yeah. You would say that since it's you and you know it. Look at everybody go to the inside of Schrader.
And as we watch that battle, we say that Derek Cope was pulled away. Well, now Lake Speed is beginning to move in a little bit on the straight era products number 12 Ford.
You mentioned this is the first time that he has ever led at Bristol. It's only the second time that he has led all year. We're talking about Cope. He did lead 2 laps at Richmond. But Lake Speed is closing in here.
And so is Mark Martin, a pole sitter.
Yep. Darrell Waltrip is still hanging in there. He's in 4th place. Don't count him out of this thing by any means.
Believe me, I did not. Somebody might, but I didn't count Darrell Waltrip out if he doesn't overheat.
Yeah.
Oh, Lake Speed has closed up right on the back bumper.
He sure has. He's within a car length and closing in.
There's Dale Earnhardt closing up on Dale Jarrett. Jarrett's running in 5th place. Earnhardt back to 6th after making that.
Oh, some contact, a lot of contact.
Ooh, man, they rubbed all the way through 2.
Man, now they're going to try it again.
And Lake is going to take the lead.
And we can see that something's bottoming out in Lake's car.
Lake Speed giving that span car putting it right here tonight. Here's Martin taking 2nd from Cope.
Darrell Waltrip coming right up there, moving right in. He wants to take over 3rd, and he's going to do it. Something apparently has gone wrong with Derek Cope's car.
And there is Dale Earnhardt breathing down Dale Jarrett's neck.
They're 5th and 6th.
But now Derek Cope's car just all of a sudden has gone away, and Dale Jarrett closes up right on the back bumper. Now there's another car that's gone away. Jeff Gordon is having all kinds of problems right now. Coming off turn 2, there's Jeff Godin right behind him. He has lost 3 or 4 spots. Where's he running?
He's back at 10 now, Benny.
His car is just not handling the way it was.
Now Mark Martin closes in on the leader. And our pole sitter is still in the hunt here.
We have a report that maybe Jeff Gordon might have only taken on 2 tires on that pit stop. So that could be the
It looks like the Ford tires is the way to go tonight.
John, what's the story?
Jess, I just talked to Ray Evernham. They took on only right side tires, and Jeff is complaining that the car is very, very loose.
Yeah, Earnhardt got around Jarrett. Moves Earnhardt into fifth.
Closing in on fourth place, Cope. They're the top three.
Lake Speed, the blue number 9. Mark Martin, the number 6 car, and Darrell Waltrip in 17, the Western Auto Chevrolet. Fords in a Chevrolet.
Boy, wouldn't a spam burger taste good about that, huh? Here's an Autolite field summary. As you can see, Earnhardt has passed Derek Cope and is now fourth.
Right there, too. There he comes into the picture.
18 cars on the lead lap.
Derek Cope, the 12 car, the main and tail car that led just a moment ago, has reported to his crew that his automobile all of a sudden is very, very tight.
Here's Jeff trying to move up one position on the 23 car.
And he's about to lose his spot to Bodine.
That is not 4 positions since Jimmy is a couple laps down. Jeff's on the lead lap, so is Jeff Bodine.
Look at this. Look at this. Darrell's on the outside. Earnhardt's on the inside.
Both trying to get around.
Man,
Mark Martin.
And Mark lets Darrell go, lets Earnhardt go.
Wow. Martin fell from second to fourth there.
Darrell Waltrip passing Mark, trying to pass him on the outside. That's a lot there.
He's got fire in his eyes.
He's about to lose second place here.
You got to salute the run of Lake Speed. He was a provisional starter.
Got a 36th or something.
Yeah, he's leading the race right now, but Darrell Waltrip is right behind.
Bill, what's the story with Speed and Waltrip?
Well, first of all, with Lake Speed, he had just radioed in that he thought his tires were going away, and next thing you know, he slipped around Cope and into first place. His crew has told him that dig, 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 because rain is coming. As for Darrell, he's got those 4 fresh tires. The crew told me the damage to the front of that car is mainly cosmetic. Darrell's had good finishes the last 2 times we were here, and he looks pretty good right now as well.
In fact, he is the leader of the Goody's 500, having taken it from Lake Speed, and now Dale Earnhardt is second. Here comes Mark Martin to third. Cope is moving up to fourth, and suddenly Lake Speed goes from first to fifth. But Darrell Waltrip leads the Goody's 500.
Wow. Well, I mean, that's not, shouldn't be a shock, should it?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Nobody drives this racetrack better than he does.
There is Sterling Marlin. He is a lap down. No, he's in 8th position. Yeah, he was a lap down, but remember, he got his lap down, and this car's on the move.
Now Earnhardt going for the lead in turn 3.
Oh, and he's going to get it.
Double Darrell is good while it lasted.
I just can't catch a break. Why did it rain 2 laps?
Why did it just pour down?
So Dale Earnhardt has taken back command of this NASCAR Winston Cup event, but look at Darrell Waltrip, who is not willing to let him stay up there. Couldn't retake the advantage, however. Martin third, then Derek Cope. And Lake Speed running in 5th position. 309 circuits completed. Back with more in a moment. We were late getting this race started here at Bristol. As a result, we're running well over our scheduled off time. Sports Center with Craig Kilborn and Linda Cohn will be up right after the conclusion of this event. We've completed 318 of 500 laps. And the leader of the race, with whom you are riding right now, is Dale Earnhardt. He has led 76 laps so far. Jeff Gordon has led the most to this point, 86. But Gordon, as we indicated, has fallen back and is now in 12th position. And there is Richard Childress looking for another possible win here at Bristol. Now let's take a look at the top 5 in NASCAR Winston Cup points and where they are running. Jeff Gordon started 4th, now 12th. Sterling Marlin is now 7th. Mark Martin is 3rd. Earnhardt, of course, the leader, and Ted Musgrave is 14th. And a car at the bottom of the track in turn 4 is Ricky Craven.
Like the left rear tire's flat, isn't it?
This, yeah, it looks like it is, Ben, and this might be a break for Terry Labonte. He had just got passed by about 3 cars on the last lap. Sterling Marlin went by him, and so did Dale Jarrett and Jeff Bodine. So what the situation is with Labonte's Kellogg's car.
Also, Jeff Gordon, break for him because here all the leaders come down pit road.
Yep. You have to dodge that car sitting up there, but
let's see who does what on pit road. Marlin is already receiving service on his car. That's Earnhardt at the top and Mark Martin in the middle as the crews go to work. Here's Jerry and Earnhardt.
And they will change 4 tires on the Goodrich Chevy. Remember, last time the 5-car Labonte and Gordon only changed right side tires. That's where it showed up on the racetrack. The 4-car is out. Here comes Marlin. Here comes 28 Jarrett. And Mark Martin will beat Dale Earnhardt. Let's go to the back pits and Bill Weber.
Darrell Waltrip is in. They cranked her round of wedge in. His car was loose. It's 4 tires. Their fuel window is about 175 laps. We're on 323 now. Darrell's away.
Mark Martin with the best pit stop here on the front stretch. A little under 20 seconds.
Tell you what, Dale Jarrett didn't do too bad because he now is 3rd place in that
17.3 seconds for the 2018.
Ricky Craven. Looks like he's having trouble getting out of the car.
It does. The tow truck has hooked the car up, and Ricky is still in there. Now he's getting out.
Oh, there he
is. So Ricky's okay, and the 10th caution is waving over the speedway. Here's John Kernan with an update on Jeff Gordon.
Well, they took a rubber out of the right rear, and also they found out, remember we said that Jeff had gotten loose, the right rear tire was going flat. It was almost to the point of being flat, but now they've got this brake under caution. They came in, changed all 4 tires, took a rubber out of the right rear. We'll have to see what that did to the handling characteristics, but the reason it was loose, the tire had gone flat on the right rear.
Man, oh man, what a huge, huge break this caution flag was. Man.
That's the thing the championships are made of. It's Martin, Earnhardt, Jarrett, Cope, and Terry Labonte at the end of 324 of 500 laps in the Goody's 500.
These are just flakes.
Well, what do you think?
These are really good. They're crispy, too.
Really?
Yeah, they're mighty good even with nothing on them. What are they?
Hey, Charlie.
Yeah. Kellogg's Corn Flakes? How could I be so dumb?
You got 500 miles to think about it.
Kellogg's is proud to sponsor NASCAR champion Terry Labonte.
All kinds of motorsports on ESPN and ESPN2, beginning with Thursday Night Thunder, the USAC Sprints in Louisville, Kentucky. ESPN2 has live coverage of Winston Cup qualifying at Darlington Friday afternoon for the Southern 500. Dave Despain has the update on all stock car activity with NASCAR Today Saturday morning. Later on ESPN Saturday afternoon, the Gatorade 200 Busch Grand National race from the track Too Tough to Tame. Join me for Speed Week at a different time Saturday night at 6 o'clock. The go-karts take to the Major Taylor Velodrome on 2 Saturday Night Lightning at 8:30 Eastern. 2 also has the half-hour pre-race show with Dave and Alan Bestwick at 12:30 Sunday. It's Race Day America Sunday on both networks, the Southern 500 with regular coverage plus in-cars on 2, and the same will immediately follow with the IndyCars at Vancouver at 5 o'clock Eastern. All this next week, plus the debut of RPM Tonight on 2, Sunday night, 8 o'clock. And Mark Martin comes back into the pits, Jerry.
And apparently they thought they might have a tire going down on the right side. They're also going to take a look and make sure they don't have a tire rubbing. They jack the car up a little bit, make sure the tires are okay, they're not rubbing, and they will drop the jack, and he is away because we'll have green next time by.
And boy, this is going to put him from the lead to 18th place. There are 18 cars on the lead lap.
Tough break for Mark Martin.
that really was a tough break. I thought I was going to say we was going to see who had the best car, Mark Martin or Dale Earnhardt. Martin, remember, qualified on the pole. Earnhardt back in 7th spot, but Earnhardt seems to have adjusted his car, and it's pretty doggone good right now. And it was interesting to see if he and Mark Martin, what kind of race is going to happen now.
We won't see it.
We will not see that. We'll see a race between Dale Jarrett and Dale Earnhardt.
The Dales are up front as the green comes out once again. Cope is in third, then Terry Labonte, Sterling Marlin, Darrell Walton, Bobby Labonte, and Lake Speed.
Rusty Wallace, Earnhardt down into the turn.
Nemechek also, and Dale Jarrett's going to take the lead.
How about that? Dale Jarrett leads the Goodies 500, and Derek Cope looks for a second. He has contact with Earnhardt. He nearly spins. He forces Dale way up high on the racetrack. That was as close to crashing as you can come.
Man, oh man, I'm telling you. Meanwhile, there's Rusty Wallace and Joe Nemechek. Both those cars laps down, and there's the leader of the race in 28, Dale Jarrett. Second place car is Derek Cope.
Dale started 16th. His lowest was 20th, and of course he is now the leader of the race.
And he needs to get by those cars. I think he's faster than both of them right now if he can just move around.
Labonte tries to take second, make that third from Earnhardt.
And he has a run. Can't make it. You can see all the yellow is rubbed off the tires on the left side of Earnhardt's car. I wonder if he might have a tire going flat on that 3-line.
Labonte may have, I thought he had even a better run that time, but still not able to get to the inside of Dale.
Derek Wallace moved out of the way of both Joe Nemechek and Jarrett. And what did you start to say about Cope?
Maybe with that contact with Earnhardt didn't do him any good either, but he is running pretty well, isn't he?
Yeah, he might be picking up a little bit on.
What about it, John Kernan?
Well, Derek, right after that, radioed the crew and said, hey, guys, I think I might have damaged the right front tire. But then you see him out there on the track. He's holding his own in second place right now. So he's being very cautious, hoping that he doesn't have that right front tire going down. But possibly they might have also fit some sheet metal in on it. So you might want to watch that. You can see that a lot better from your vantage point than we can down here on pit road.
Well, he's staying right with Jarrett now, in fact, closing in a little bit.
Yeah, they both, Joe Nemechek got very loose coming off the 2, and both of them got by over there, and both of them had to slow down as Brett Bedine moves to the high side like they told him to do in the drivers' meeting.
Well, let's re-emphasize that it was excellent work by the Robert Yates team in the pit area. One of the reasons why Dale Jarrett is up in the lead.
Yeah, he was running 6th place, came out in 3rd, and then Mark Martin went to the pits. That put him up to 2nd, and then got by Earnhardt on that first lap of the restart. And up to 1st.
Joe Nemechek has again lost his 2nd lap. Here's Terry Labonte moving to the inside of him. Now Rusty Wallace is, what, about 46 laps down? 47. 28th position. Here's some side-by-side activity in the back. That's Marlin, Musgrave, Michael Waltrip.
And you see our point leader back there, Jeff Gordon, at the very tail end of that. Right now, Jeff Gordon, the points leader, is running in 13th spot.
There's Jeff. Just behind our ringmaster.
Here's...
Uh-oh, what's this all about?
Oh, the 30 spins up right in front of Rick Mast.
Man, that was close for Jeff Gordon because he almost got collected. And Michael Waltrip is also involved. Man, oh man. He was, of course, the one that started it all. I'm not sure what happened.
Okay, guy, left front, left rear.
Mast with damage on the left front.
All right, Mike, is he coming in?
He's going around. He's okay. He's going around.
Dale Jarrett slowed down and let both of them get back in the lead lap. Boy, a lot of damage to Rick's car. I don't know if sparks coming out.
The left front tire is completely flat now. Let's watch again. Here's the 30 car. He's trying to go by Jimmy Spencer, and Spencer comes down. They make contact. Drives Michael down on the apron of the racetrack, and there's just no handling the car down there.
Boy, he almost hit the end of the pit wall, didn't he?
And he goes up right in front of Rick Mast. And you're right, almost in front of Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, Gordon just barely got by. Here it is again.
Michael trying to go by on the inside, makes contact with Spencer, and then gets down the flat. And Venus says no traction down there. Mark Martin is back in the pits, and Jerry Punch is there.
And they will come back in and change all 4 tires. By the way, when he came back in a moment ago, just prior to the restart, I told you they thought they had a vibration. They're making a chassis adjustment in the right rear. The concern was the right rear tire changer didn't think he had gotten on the lug nuts. He thought some of the lug nuts had fallen off and wasn't sure how many indeed he did have tight. So rather than take a chance, better than safe than sorry, they brought him back in and checked the right side tire. They've now changed all 4 tires.
Here's Mark Martin's roof cam. Too had to take evasive action.
So did Ken Schrader. Schrader went all the way down on the flat and came back out.
Hey, Michael Waltrip took a pretty heavy lick to the left rear. I don't imagine that. I would think he probably bent the rear housing on the Pennzoil pipe.
Michael has made his way to pit road.
4 tires on. Tommy, work on that spoiler. We'll get the gas in it first. Middle of the back stretch. Get the 4 tires on and then we'll come back. Middle of 3 and 4.
Down for the pace car.
All right, just pull it out there a little bit. All right, let it down. Let it down. Hey, we got to fix the gas spout. We can't get it in, so when he comes back in, we'll work on that, getting gas in it, getting that spoiler up. Somebody get a hammer, get some pliers, and get ready to... All right, Tommy and Bill, and then it'll be Rambo, Mike, me, and Darren on the back. Just the 2. Us 4 and the guys put gas in.
Trying to be sure they didn't have too many men over.
Going into 3.
We stayed on the lead lap, y'all. Let's keep that up. Make sure we get out of here.
Middle of 3 and...
He got some gasoline in it anyway. There's only 150 laps to go, so he probably could run the rest of the way on gasoline if he got.
Get this cleaned up and come back in, take a look at this, make sure everything's all right. Get that spoiler hammered up and get some tape ready to put on if we need it.
Looks like they
Here he comes. 3,300, Michael.
Pretty good 100 patchwork.
Hey, Brian, count this. Make sure there's guys. Don't anybody come over, but what's over here right now? Right here, Mike. Middle of the back stretch. Hey, don't break it off. All right, all right, all right. So 3 and 4. Coming in a 4. Go ahead. All right, it's gonna be 1 to go.
I don't think they got a minimum angle here tonight, but it was 65 degrees. I doubt if it would be exactly right.
Well, the lineup now begins for the restart. And Bill is with Rick Mast.
Rick is still able to smile. A couple of weeks ago, you told me the first half of this season was the most frustrating for you you've ever had. Obviously, the second half hadn't started off too good.
And got a lot better. You know, we were off tonight. The last stop, we made a change, and the car felt the best that it felt all night from the last restart. Mike and Spencer got together. Mike went to the inside. Nothing he could do, nothing I could do. They just shouldn't have got together to begin with. But it's Bristol, man. Saturday Night Thunder.
Rick Mast is out, and so is the green flag.
Just about to come out at least. Jared gets a pretty good jump on the field as, whoa, and Derek Cope didn't go anywhere, and Dale Earnhardt nailed him in the rear end.
It's like Derek Cope might have missed a shift or something, or the carburetor loaded up.
Just didn't take off when he gas. In any case, Cope held on to second position. But Jarrett got a real good advantage off the fourth corner.
I don't know what's wrong with Earnhardt's car, because he didn't take off good again, even though he was about to run all over Cope there.
Yeah, I thought he would
take off. But he's just not up to the speedway he was earlier. And yellows it out again.
It's debris on the racetrack.
There it is.
Backstretch.
Rusty Wallace coming around trying to get a lap back.
Let's take a look at that restart again from the root cam of Earnhardt.
He nailed him pretty good.
John Kernan.
Derek did just a few moments ago radio his crew, Jimmy Finnick, his crew chief, and say, I missed a shift. I might have over-revved the motor, and I might have damaged the motor. So they will probably be coming down pit road this time by to check some things out. At least, well, now he is not coming down pit road. He couldn't have anyway because Morgan Shepherd was on his inside.
Well, the front end of the 3 car is damaged pretty well.
Watch, we'll see Derek Cope miss that shift. Watch, you see the puff of smoke? That's when he missed the shift.
Yep.
Although you only got one, you got a pretty good eye there, Pete.
Jarrett Cope, Earnhardt, Terry Labonte, and Darrell Waltrip, the top 5 here in Bristol. We'll be right back.
Smoking badly. Look at the 3 cars. Smoke coming out the back of that machine.
They just took the green flag, and the smoke started pouring from the 3 car when he accelerated.
Was the car overheated?
Well, yeah, you wonder if that damage that was done to the front end when he hit Derek Cope on that other restart might have either shut off the air or did something.
Here is the restart just moments ago. See, the smoke started to pour from that car immediately.
Immediately, yes.
And now he's got Darrell Waltrip on the outside of him, Terry Labonte on his bumper.
And Darrell Waltrip goes to 3rd place. Here comes Terry Labonte to 4th.
And Derek Cope is all over Dale Jarrett.
Dale Jarrett, best short track finish of this year, was 6th here at Bristol. And Jarrett is reporting that he's loose. John Kernan, what's the story?
A very loose condition for Dale Jarrett. In fact, they've already made their decision on the last pit stop, which their last pit stop. They will make a track bar adjustment because the car has just gotten very, very loose. That was what Dale was complaining about before we had this last caution period.
Well,
and trouble over in turn 3.
John Andretti spins, so does Lake Speed. No big problem, though, and there is not a caution. Yes, there is.
Yeah, there is now.
Well, maybe Dale Jarrett can get in and get his rear panhard bar adjusted now.
I don't know what happened up there in turn 4. Let's take a look at it.
A lot of cars there trying to get in the same place at the same time, I think, Bob. And
Schrader just makes some contact, and looks like the 87 car might have run in the back of Lake Speed.
Derek Cope is pitting, John. He's the U.
It'll be a 4-tire change for Derek Cope. They go to work on the right side. This will take them all the way to the finish, 137 laps. We thought Dale Jarrett might pit, but they may wait a little bit longer. Cope's crew come around to the left side. Tires being yanked off. Not a lot of room here on pit road in Bristol. Now let's go down to Jerry Punch and Dale Earnhardt's finish. Cope leads.
Well, this caution was a break for Earnhardt. He was going to have to pit the next 3 or 4 laps. He just radioed the crew, said, I smell oil in the car, and I'm smelling oil back in the cockpit. And we saw the car getting heavier and heavier as far as the smoking is concerned. Have a number of they have taped the front of the car, and they're trying to keep them losing a lap, but I got to believe they'll come back in. They have different fittings on the car, and we'll go over see if we can try to eavesdrop and see exactly what the damage was. While we have it, Richard, how bad is the car hurt? Richard talking to a driver, and he comes by. Talking to Dale Earnhardt, who wants to come back in and have the car looked at once again.
Dale has had a dilemma of recent times in finishing 20th or worst only 4 times in 93, 4 times in 94. In the first 21 races of this year, he has finished 7 times below 20th. Jerry?
As we expected, he has come back in, and they will change right side tires. Concerned about the right front tire rubbing somewhat on the car, and they are told it's going to go green next time by. Let me ask Andy. Andy Petrie, what was the problem with the car?
We got a little oil cooler up front. It looks like it busted when that 12 car didn't get started there.
So now he's on the phone, headphones with his driver. They think they have it crimped off, and they have bypassed that oil cooler, so we're going to have green next time by.
Now, Ken Schrader's roof cam and this incident.
See, he bumped the 37 car there. Sent John Andretti around, about ready to go back racing.
We've had 15 lead changes tonight. That breaks the previous record set in 1988 of 13. SportsCenter will be coming up at the conclusion of this event. We got started late because of rain, and we've got about 135 laps to go. Dale Jarrett is the leader of the race as they get the green. Now, that may sound like a lot of laps, but those will go by very, very quickly if we stay green.
Jarrett has talked about a loose race car. He did not pit. A little surprising, but I don't know, maybe there's a threat of rain or something. It was after Coke went in. At that time, Coke was the only one in front of him, so maybe they figured they could outrun everybody else.
Bobby Labonte goes to the outside of Joe Nemechek. Now Jeremy Mayfield is up there, and Jimmy Spencer is also. Jarrett continues to hang on to the lead. Rusty Wall is there second behind Dale, but he is many laps down. Darrell Waltrip is second. Terry Labonte third, and then Jeff Bodine, who has moved up to fourth. Bobby Labonte fifth. We've had 92 laps under the caution and 277 under the green so far in this event. Jeff Gordon still has led the most laps, 86. He's back in 8th position. Dale Earnhardt has led 81. Mark Martin, 57. Jeremy Mayfield led 55. And Dale Jarrett has just led his 38th lap.
There's still 17 cars on the lead lap. It's amazing with all the bang-ups we've had here tonight.
Ken Schrader is in a whole bunch of traffic. That's Nemechek to his left. Derek Pope up ahead. Schrader running 11.
Oh, and Spencer has crashed over in turn 4, and
everybody's going to miss him.
Everybody's going to miss him, and the caution flag waved once again.
Well, the race record for cautions was 14, or is 14, set back in 1988. And that one ties it.
Well, Rusty got a lap back.
Yep. Now he's only 46 behind.
Exactly.
We have tied the previous record for cautions. This is the 14th. Here's the replay.
There we see Spencer on the outside of Ted Musgrave. Looks like he went the corner a little bit too hard, Ned, on the outside.
His outside wheels probably got into loose stuff there just a little bit. Spun him around. If there was any contact between him and Musgrave, it was not very much. They were side by side.
Everybody got checked up and through there okay. He was the only car involved. Sterling Marlin is on pit road. Dale Earnhardt also comes in, as does Michael Waltrip. Earnhardt is still on the lead lap.
So is Waltrip.
Yeah, so is Waltrip. Sterling Marlin is still on the lead lap. All three of those cars currently on pit road getting service. That's Rusty Wallace also coming in. And now Marlin moves away. So those cars will be falling in at the tail of the field for the restart when we come back to Bristol. ESPN Speed World is live tonight at Bristol International Raceway in Tennessee for the running of the Goody's 500, the 22nd race of the 95 season out of 31. They're lining up for the restart, which we will get on lap number 379. Dale Jarrett continues to lead, followed by Darrell Waltrip, Terry Labonte, Jeff Bodine, and Bobby Labonte.
Ted Musgrave is 6th. Jeff Gordon is 7th. Mark Martin back up to 8th now.
Mike Wallace has stayed on the lead lap.
Yeah, he's in 9th place, running good. Derek Cope back up to 10th after his pit stop on the last caution.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate that. They're from Kalamazoo, Michigan. How about that?
Spoke to 5 or 6 fellows last night from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Yeah.
Up the road from Kalamazoo last night as I was leaving.
Butch Miller country, you know?
Yep.
Here's the green.
Jeremy Mayfield.
Yep. But a good shot from Morgan Shepherd now. Labonte does.
Right on the outside of Morgan Shepherd is a 16 car.
Here goes Lake Speed. Oh, I mean Ted Musgrave.
Well, I thought you meant Jeff Gordon pulls up on the outside of
Morgan Shepherd.
With Mark Martin. And Derek Cope. Boy, Derek Cope has really had a good run in that 12 car today.
Yes, he has. That car is good. Doing a good job driving. He's got 4 fresh tires on it too. So.
17 cars are on the lead lap. Burton's debut in the 22 car will result in a 34th place finish. He'll be looking for better results next weekend at Darlington, and Ward has signed on with that team for all of 1996. Here's Dale Earnhardt, Ken Schrader, Sterling Marlin, Michael Waltrip.
What you get hung on the outside, they just all go by. There goes Steve Bristol by the 29 car, the Meineke car.
Schrader hung on the outside. Here comes Rich Bickle in the 40 car. Look how close the competition is. Hey, second
close right here, too.
Terry Labonte is right up on the back bumper of Darrell Waltrip.
Musgrave and Mark Martin looks like, and Mark Martin will take that spot away, and 24 car Jeff Gordon.
Yeah. Musgrave lost a couple of positions there.
You see Lake Speed and Mike Wallace there. Dale Earnhardt still smoking, but he has been able to get by the 8 car, Jeff Burton.
Taken second from Darrell Waltrip. Terry Labonte, that is. His brother is also in the top 5, and Lake Speed crashes, and Michael Waltrip just escapes being involved with the incident.
And Lake is not going to be lapped. He gets the car in gear and drives away. Here comes the leader.
Got some damage, though, to the left rear of that number 9 machine.
Yeah, we see the smoke coming out of the back of it where the sheet metal is rubbing the left front tire and the left rear.
Yep. Span Ford will be headed for the pit area. Well, that sets the record for cautions.
Does it really?
Yep. 14 was the record set back in 1988 for this particular event.
Now, will they pit? Nope.
No.
Staying out there.
Well, they've had every opportunity in the world, haven't they?
They've had plenty of opportunities, so I guess they just don't want to pit.
Ted Musgrave decided to pit.
He relinquishes his 8th position, but he is the only one of the top 10, and in fact the only one of those on the lead lap to make a pit stop. Ted Musgrave getting 4 new tires, it would appear. Here's the replay as to what happened to Lake Speed.
back there from Dale Earnhardt.
Look how close Michael Waltrip came from being involved. And from Dale Earnhardt's roof cam.
Okay. Lake slows down to keep from hitting Gordon Shepard, I believe. And Earnhardt comes in there and
uh-oh, now he's got a fire. The left front tire looks like has a broken oil line. What happened? They broke an oil line on the car.
Look, there's fire in the... No, those are, yeah, I thought those were flames the way he was trying to get out of the car, but they were just the caution lights reflecting off the car. Anyway, Lake got out of there pretty quickly. He may need some medical attention. Now, it looks like there is a small fire under there. In any case, Lake Speed may be out of this race. We'll be right back. ESPN Speed World coverage of the Goody's 500 from Bristol, Tennessee, being brought to you by the more than 1,000 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. Firestone, America's tire since 1900. And by Texaco Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. Add more life to your car. Take it to the star. Dale Earnhardt is back on pit road on this caution period.
Trying to get some air to the radiator so that the car will run a little bit cooler. I'm sure that's what they're trying to do.
Meanwhile, the 9 car of Lake Speed is being towed off. I think we can pretty much count him out of the race. Earlier, this was the scene. Look at the oil gushing out of the left front of this car.
That's oil, but right in front of the tire. When he had the damage up in the left front, he's cut an oil line. There's an oil cooler up there. He's cut a line, and watch the oil coming out of that car. And we see Lake Speed going in the back of the ambulance.
Yeah.
Jerry, what's going on?
Well, we saw that oil come gushing out beneath the car. Apparently, that oil caught fire, and the fire actually bloomed inside the car, and Lake was inhaling all that smoke from the oil fire. Now, I went down there just a moment ago and talked to Lake, who was laying on the ground, and he has basically a smoke inhalation problem. They're going to load him in the ambulance and take him to the care center. I can also update you on Dale Earnhardt's car, Goodwrench Chevrolet, which is back on pit road. Earnhardt's reporting that the oil temperature is over 280 degrees and rising. Remember, they had to cap off that oil cooler in the front that was ruptured in that incident with Derek Cope, so they're a little bit concerned about the oil temperature getting hotter and hotter.
While we have a chance here, let's say hello to G.C. Spencer, former driver, former car owner who lives in this area. G.C. was in the hospital. He's home now, but G.C., we certainly want to wish you the best. Hope everything goes well. And also say hello to Bobby Scruggs, former NASCAR official, Busch Grand National official. And Bobby was here yesterday, I believe, and it's good to see him.
There's that oil that caught fire there.
Man, oh man, that thing really... No wonder he stopped so suddenly down there and got out.
No kidding.
Blame him a bit. You know, and they're talking about Keith Sawyer, a young man who builds engines for transmissions and gears for Darrell Waltrip, is in the hospital. And Bowman Gray, I hear he's been transferred up to Winston-Salem to Bowman Gray. And I would think, Keith, you're in mighty good hands up there. Hope you're watching tonight. And hope to see you soon.
Yeah, I hope he gets out of there real soon.
They're using tape on the Goodwrench Chevrolet.
We are under our 14th caution of the evening, 15th make that. Let's take a break and come back in just a moment. In less than 8 hours from now, you can catch the Grand Prix of Belgium from Spa-Francorchamps beginning at 7:50 a.m. Eastern Time. We are almost into tomorrow.
By the way, is Schumacher going to drive the Ferrari next year? Have they announced that?
Yes, I believe he has re-signed. However, of course, yeah, that's right. Yeah, Schumacher and Berger and Ferrari. Ken Schrader drove through the most recent incident. And Jerry has an update on Dale Earnhardt.
Let me correct something. What they did cap off was the valve spring cooler, the valve spring cooling system that goes in the valve spring. They are trying to get air to the oil cooler. That's why the oil temperature is so high. Green flag.
100 laps to go. 400 complete. The record for the most caution laps in this race, 105. We have completed. We just completed our 105th. So we're tied in that category also. In addition to it being a rain-delayed race. It has been a very slow race in terms of number of caution flags and laps.
And rain didn't have anything to do with the wet track. Right. Just Bristol.
Dale Jarrett leading. Terry Labonte second. Then Darrell Waltrip, Jeff Bodine, and Bobby Labonte. Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, Eric Cope.
Surprising that the leaders didn't stop on this last caution. They could certainly go the rest of the way, but maybe they want to try to get near the end of the race so they'd have fresh tires on towards the end.
Dale Jarrett has led 70 laps. His lowest during the race has been 20th. His best finish here in the Goody's 500 was in 1990, where he finished 7th.
And Terry Labonte has closed up right on the back bumper of Dale Jarrett.
Yeah, he's working on it. I think Terry has a faster car right now.
Labonte won at Richmond and Pocono. Battle for the lead here in the closing laps at Bristol.
There goes Terry Labonte. He has a run, I thought. Oh, and Musgrave spins coming off turn 4. Turning right now. Now put in gear, go. No caution flag.
Well, Benny guided him through that one. There is no caution. Didn't lose a lap either.
Let's see what happened to Ted.
Yeah.
You ever see the 4-car Sterling Marlin in the 8? Oh, a little bit. Oh, Sterling Marlin, what a job he did. Oh, I see what happened.
Yep.
He was trying to dodge the wreck. He became the wreck.
Yeah, they were all jammed up all around him.
There's a timely description of that incident.
Now, Steve Grissom is stopped up in the coming down the back straightaway. No, he's moving again.
He's got to stay up.
He hit the wall coming off too.
You got to stay up because cars are still coming by on the inside. Here comes the leaders.
4 tires, guys. 4 tires.
Turn left, quick! Don't go left. Man,
it's hard to get down.
That was his best opportunity.
Yeah, what's he going to get down again? Meanwhile, this is still going on. The race for the lead. 28 car is Dale Jarrett, and the 5 is Terry Labonte.
It's now a minute past midnight Eastern time. We have run into Sunday morning here on this race that was supposed to have started at 7:30 Saturday night, but didn't because of rain.
Steve Grissom finally did make it to the bottom of the racetrack and to the pits.
And again, SportsCenter will be on immediately following this event. Linda Cohn and Craig Kilborn will have all the news from the sports world. Jarrett opens up a little bit of daylight.
Well, when they lapped 37 of John Andretti, Jarrett got by before he got to the turn, and Labonte did not. And so that gave Dale a little bit of an advantage.
Here's another field summary for you, sponsored by Autolite.
See, Mike Wallace back in 9 started 27th. 81 laps to go.
Well, just go ahead and rain. It'll be okay.
Yeah.
Spoken like a true father.
And we can see the raindrops there. I tell you what, if they throw the caution flag for rain, this baby is over.
Here's the battle for third position. Darrell Waltrip and Jeff Bodine.
Darrell in the 17, Jeff Bodine in the 7. Both these guys need a good run.
Well, the body feels that rain, and he is working on Jarrett's back bumper.
And Dale Jarrett has now led more laps than any other. He has led 88 so far. Jeff Gordon 86. So he's looking for another 5 bonus points for leading the most laps. Dale Jarrett is.
And he's never done that in his career.
Is that right?
Yep.
How about that? Oh, and John Andretti takes Dave Marcus into the wall in turn 4, but everybody keeps going.
And no caution flag, but Marcus is slow, very slow. Now he gets off the racetrack. We can see he's got some pretty serious damage to that right front.
Here it is again in turn 4. Just too many cars for not enough space.
There we see Andretti. That's a 37 car. And there is Marcus, and he starts to go by on the outside, and they make contact, and you're right. Up in the wall went Dave Marcus.
And Jeff Gordon got by Bobby Labonte as Rick Mast has it flat.
Left front tire is flat. He can't get to the bottom of the racetrack, kind of like the 29 car a little bit ago. Now he finally does. Now the leaders have caught Bill Elliott, and they're able to get by. 73 laps to go. Dale Jarrett slips up just a little bit. Terry Labonte is going to be right by him.
He's looked under him a time or two. Jarrett's car is not getting off the corners as good as Terry Labonte's is right now. Getting into the corners okay, and through the center, but getting off is where Labonte is beating.
Bobby Labonte and Derek Cope are having their own little battle. Going to the inside of Bill Elliott. Bill lets him pass by, and this is the battle for 7th spot.
As we watch this, Kenny Schrader has made a pit stop. He is in the pits on the back straightaway in the Budweiser Chevrolet. Oh, here goes Labonte. No.
Here's the interval between 1st and 5th. Jarrett and Gordon reduced from 2.9 to 2.1 during laps 4, 23 to 4,
Labonte's got it.
And now Terry Labonte takes the lead from Dale Jarrett. Jarrett is reporting that his car is now loose.
It's very obvious the car is very loose coming off the turns.
There is Jeff Gordon, the current points leader, with Jeff Bodine. Bodine now is in 4th position. And Jeff comes to the inside of him. By the way, this is the first time tonight that Terry Labonte has led the race. Had 10 different leaders and 16 lead changes.
Rusty Wallace, the Miller Genuine Draft Ford, who usually runs so well in these short tracks, has spun a couple of times tonight. One time had some pretty serious damage. Spent about 47, 48 laps repairing his car. That's why they were not talking about Rusty Wallace, because his car is running pretty well right now. Just been so many laps down.
Terry Labonte is certainly turning his Goody's 500 performances around. Listen to these finishes in the last 3 Goody's 500s in 92 31st, 93 34th, and 94 33rd. Terry Labonte leads at the end of 4:35. It's the Goody's 500 NASCAR Winston Cup race at Bristol, Tennessee, and the rain is beginning to come down just a little bit harder now. Labonte first, Dale Jarrett second, and Darrell Waltrip is third. Leaders approach slower traffic. That's Bobby Hamilton just ahead, along with Michael Waltrip. Michael is still on the lead lap in 14th.
15 cars on the lead lap because Michael Waltrip will be the last car on the lead lap. Bobby Hamilton.
Jerry thought he had a chance there, but didn't.
Well, Jarrett is not letting Labonte get away now. He's closed back up. A lot has to do with traffic, though.
Yeah.
And while this has been going on, Dale Earnhardt has quietly moved back up to 7th spot in the Goodwrench Chevrolet.
He's about not quite a half a lap behind the leaders.
There's Earnhardt. He's been able to pass Cope and Bobby Labonte, Mike Wallace. The smoke has gone away anyway.
Yep.
Labonte having a little trouble getting around Michael Waltrip up there. As we watch this battle between Earnhardt here, so now Terry gets a nose up there almost, but he didn't quite do it.
Slow car in the high groove coming into 4.
About that slow car that Jeremy Mayfield.
He is very slow. Meanwhile, Labonte's still trying to get by Michael Waltrip.
Yep, he can put him a lap
There's
down.
a hole. Low side.
Now the hole opened up just momentarily, but Terry Labonte could not take advantage of it.
And look at Darrell Waltrip right on the back bumper of Dale Jarrett.
Yeah, he caught him when they ran up on that 30 car. Maybe Michael says, hey, I'll help my brother out here. Catch up to those guys a little bit. Because Michael's really trying to stay on the lead lap. As he sees raindrops falling, hoping there might be a caution on the lead lap.
So it's a 3-car battle. Labonte, Jarrett, Darrell Waltrip. Now Labonte has lapped Michael Waltrip.
28 behind him too. 28 to 17 after the 17.
That's Michael Waltrip's spotter.
Darrell Waltrip is going in the corner and drifting a little bit higher than these fellas.
He, you know, his style here has been to sort of diamond these turns, Vinny, and sort of go up and let it drift up a little bit and then come back down.
Looking for Bobby Labonte. There he is, along with Mike Wallace, Sterling Marlin, and Jeff Burton, along with Derek Cope and Morgan Shepherd.
The first 5 cars on the racing position, aren't they?
Yep, Shepherd is the only one that isn't racing with them. Shepherd is 4 laps down in 17th. Bobby Labonte in 8th.
Eighth, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th.
To go, 47 as a matter of fact.
Leader, there he is, and he's opened up a little bit of advantage now on Dale Jarrett.
And Darrell is, you know, right now he's not letting that car drift up as much in the corner because he's trying to make up some ground on the 28 car. I think he lets the car go up there like that and cool the tires a little bit.
He attributes his success here at Bristol, among other things, to racing at Salem, Indiana, where around the area where he grew up in Owensboro, he raced at Salem, which is a high-banked half-mile track. He says that's one of the reasons why he's been so successful here.
I used to race at Salem, Indiana.
Yeah, I figured you did.
Oh, there's bank steepness.
Well, and Bobby Labonte is high up in turns 1 and 2. They're not quite as high as these, Ned, but the groove was right at the top of the racetrack at Salem, Indiana. Right at the top of the racetrack. There we see Labonte has lost 2 spots. Yep. To Mike Wallace and Sterling Marlin.
And here's how it happened.
Well, he goes high. Mike Wallace comes by. Sterling Marlin comes by.
Sterling Marlin is able to get around Mike Wallace in the Heilig Myers car. Take that spot away.
That moves Sterling to 8th. Mike Wallace is 9th. Bobby Labonte is 11th.
then, Darrell Waltrip has fallen back from the 28 car of Dale Jarrett. There's our leader, Terry Labonte, the 5 car, the Kellogg's car. There's second, there's third place. And Darrell has fallen back in the clutches of Jeff Bodine in the 7th and the 24 of Jeff Gordon.
I guess the question is, do all of these cars that did it like lap 322, 178 to go, do they have enough fuel to go the rest of the way? I guess they figure they do that. They know more about it than I do. So, because like we said earlier, all of them had plenty of opportunities to pit. And we know Derek Cope, no problem with he or Sterling Marlin because they have pitting systems. Earnhardt has.
Jeff Bodine started 13th. He's been as low as 31st. He is currently in 4th. There is Jeff Gordon right behind Jeff Bodine. And here is Dale Earnhardt.
They certainly fixed that oil problem. The smoke has gone away.
He's moved up 7 positions in the last 80 laps or so.
Dale Jarrett and Joe Nemechek got together off turn 4, and Nemechek almost won out.
Yeah, Jarrett started to go on the inside, I think, and Nemechek was going to move down to give him room to go on the outside, and they got together a little bit.
Terry Labonte won this race in 1984, continues to lead. Let's take a look at what Dale Jarrett almost encountered coming off 4.
See there, he started to try to go on the inside of Nemechek, and Nemechek was going down to let him go by on the outside. And it all worked out okay. A little scary moment for dads. People like that. Even Benny got excited about it.
And Dale Jarrett.
Yeah.
Earnhardt is closing the gap on Terry Labonte. Earnhardt back in 7th position. He's cut the interval 0.6 of a second. Here is Dale. I think we see some pieces of rubber bouncing around on the track, don't we?
There's a piece of metal there.
There's a piece of metal.
Yeah, that's going in turn 3, looks like.
Yeah.
You know, I said a good while ago that Earnhardt was almost a half a lap behind the leaders. Well, he definitely has closed that in quite a bit.
That's turn 1. I'm sorry, that debris is down in turn 1. And there we see Earnhardt is right behind Mark Martin, the Valvoline car. And he's going to the inside and going by Mark Martin.
Yes, he is. That moves him to 6th. Earnhardt up to 6th with 31 laps to go. Just ahead of him is Jeff Gordon. Just 30 laps to go in this 500-lap event here at Bristol International Raceway. We'll be back in just a moment. Labonte leads here at Bristol with just a few laps remaining. Dale Earnhardt, though, is on the move once again, and this guy just never gives up. He's about to take 4th.
He's currently 4th.
Yeah, he's about to take 3rd from Darrell Waltrip, and he will do so.
As quick as you can say he's 3rd, he's 3rd. Man, oh, man. But now he has tires. We talk about tires. His tires are much fresher than Labonte's and Dale Jarrett's and Darrell Waltrip's, all these guys.
I don't think, however, he has enough time to close in the interval between himself and the leader. You guys?
I don't know. I'm not going to say he's not.
Michael Waltrip comes in the Pennzoil Pontiac. Let's go down to Jerry Punch.
Well, the Pennzoil Pontiac getting right side tires. Obviously, they came in and wanted to top off in fuel, but no real concern here in the Terry Labonte pit. The Kellogg Chevrolet should have plenty of fuel to go all the way. Hey, the big concern by Gary Dehart is that this race car's history has been terrible. They have raced it twice in '95, and they have wrecked it both times. Maybe tonight will change their luck. Let's go to John Kernan.
Jerry, up here in Dale Jarrett's pit, just talked to Larry, the Colonel's his crew chief. He says we are fine on fuel. That is no problem. The only thing is the car has been just a little bit loose for Dale. Let's go to the back pits and go west.
Well, Darrell Waltrip had a great run going. He does have enough fuel to get to the end, but his car has tightened up a bit. He wanted to come in for tires close early, but his crew said we were better on long runs, but not this long, apparently. He won't make it to the end on fuel, but his tires are going away. A quick call to Bobby Labonte. That's been a science project tonight. Every time I talk to Jimmy Makar, he says we're decent or we're getting better. They wanted one more stop. They may have to fit under green. They're not sure they can make it on fuel. Of course, they weren't sure about that last week either, guys.
And of course they made it because Bobby Labonte won the race. The interval between Terry Labonte and Dale Earnhardt, the leader back to third, is 2.6 seconds.
And I'm not sure that Dale Jarrett isn't gaining on Terry Labonte right now.
Yeah, I think it's sort of how they catch traffic. They're running about the same lap speeds. Earnhardt's running a little bit faster than either one of them.
Earnhardt just motors by this traffic with ease down on the third and fourth turns.
And there we see Dale Jarrett, the next car right in front of Dale Earnhardt.
Stay tuned now for SportsCenter. It's coming up in 16 laps. That isn't very long. They run almost 4 laps a minute here. Second place, Dale Jarrett. Now sees Dale Earnhardt in his rear view mirror.
Leader coming up on some heavy traffic. His brother for one. Bobby is running in 13th position.
I'll tell you what, it all depends on how much trouble Earnhardt has with Dale Jarrett.
I don't think he'll have a lot of trouble with him because Earnhardt's getting off the corner so much better than Jarrett is, and he'll be able to drive right under him coming off the turn.
This has just been an amazing run for Dale Earnhardt tonight, and I take back what I said a few minutes ago. I think he can.
Moved into second place.
On 2 different occasions, he has come from near the back of the field, through traffic, to battle up front. Now the interval is less than 2 seconds.
And he's got 12 laps to do it.
Yep.
Man.
Terry has put a couple of cars between he and Earnhardt, and his brother's one of them. So, you know, said, brother, help me out a little bit here. Keep that free car back there just as much as you can.
It's down to 1.6 seconds. He has chopped off a full second in the last 3-4 laps. Now there are 10 circuits to go. Terry Labonte, your leader, but Dale Earnhardt is closing in. It's 1.5 seconds.
And he didn't have any trouble passing Terry's brother. Ted Musgrave goes high. Cars go by.
Earnhardt now has a couple of cars to pass. Here's a battle for position between Darrell Waltrip and Mark Martin at fourth.
And Musgrave is very, very slow in the Family Channel car.
Musgrave in 11th.
There's the leader, Terry Labonte. 8 laps to go. You see it's 1.6 seconds.
And Musgrave's in the pits. Must have had a flat.
7 to go, and now Earnhardt continues to reel him in.
No traffic now, nothing between them. And a good bit of space in front of Terry before he catches anybody else.
Musgrave is back out, by the way. There he is on your left. Well, the interval isn't closing up now as much as it used to. Much as it was earlier, it's still a 1.5 second advantage of Terry over Dale Earnhardt.
Under 5 laps to go.
It's 1.3 seconds. But the laps are winding down. Earnhardt easily to the inside of Brett Bodine.
He's going to run across some slow cars. With Jeff Burton and Mike Wallace, if they hold him up at all, Earnhardt will catch him. There's the 2 slow cars, Mike Wallace and Jeff Burton, and they're racing for position, I believe. Yes, they are. 1 second.
Mike Wallace is 9th. Jeff Burton is 10th. They're still on the lead lap.
2 laps to go. Labonte comes up on Burton and Wallace. Look at the white flag this time around. There's Earnhardt lurking in second position off of corner 4. Terry Labonte gets the white flag, but still has this traffic to contend with.
Jeff Ledine had to come in for a splash of gas. Or a flat tire or something.
Now let's see. They're down to 4 or 5 car lengths.
And a slow car right, and Earnhardt is right on his back bumper.
Let's see what strategy he pulls. Oh, Labonte is sideways, but wins the race, crashes, and he wins anyway. How about that? Whoa! Labonte crossed the line sideways, took the checkered flag, hit the wall, and still comes out the winner of the Goodies 500 over Dale Earnhardt. How about that?
Well, only a fitting ending to the night.
That's exactly right. Been a long night for everybody, including these race drivers and the fans who have stuck with the race from the rain to the end. And here is the final corner.
I think Earnhardt gave him just a little bit of a tap, then backed off and let him get, tried to let him get straightened out, but it was too far gone.
Man, oh man.
What a night. Look at this victory lane. Here's Dr. Punch.
Unbelievable. We told you at the top of the show that what was left of the remnants of a 3,400-pound stock car would come to victory lane. We didn't exactly mean that this was one. I mean, someone has knocked the cornflakes out of this Chevy as they get the window net down in here talking to Terry Labonte. Let's jump in here beside Terry while he's trying to get... Man, I tell you, what a finish, Terry. What a finish. Congratulations on a great effort.
That was a finish, wasn't it? Oh, I tell you, our Kellogg Chevy ran great all night there, and lap cars, you know, were running side by side, racing each other at the end, and Dale caught me and gave me a little shot in the back there, and I just stood in the gas, and you know, we beat him across the line. But it was a good run for us. All the guys in the Kellogg Chevy, they did a great job, and I just can't say enough about all our sponsors, Kellogg's, GMAC, Valvoline. Got to say hi to Rick. I think I used up a race car, but we'll get another one.
Let me let you jump out of the car here, Terry. Take a look at what's left of the front of this car. Walk around to the front here. We'll let you walk around to the front here, Terry, and take a look. I mean, this car was looked like it was going to come away pretty well unscathed, but now it looks like you sprung a leak there in the front. Terry, did Gary Dehart and the guys, I guess the last couple laps, let you know how close Earnhardt was?
Well, I saw him in the mirror, you know, and he had a little bit fresher tires than I did. But, you know, the lap cars is what got us. He couldn't have caught us, I don't believe. He was coming, but he didn't have enough time to get there without the traffic. And I think I ran all night long, didn't put a scratch in until the end, but then we wiped it out. But that's the way it goes. We won.
Well, the streak remains intact. Remember what Gary Dehart said. They had raced it twice. They had wrecked it twice. Well, now they've raced it 3 times and wrecked it 3 times, but they wrecked it on the way to victory lane. Bob?
7th short track win of his 16 total, the 2nd short track victory for Terry Labonte here in '95. He also won at Richmond, and the 17th time that Chevy has driven the victory lane in 1995. We'll show you the unofficial full field rundown. 8 cars unofficially on the lead lap at the end of the event. What an ending, huh?
Man, oh man, what an ending. Wow. Great race.
Wild night here at Bristol.
So Terry Labonte is the winner. Let's take a look at the quest for the Cup standings. Nobody changed position in the top 10 and the top 5. There was 1 position change in the top 10. Morgan Shepherd moved into 10th, knocking Bill Elliott down. SportsCenter is coming up next. Thank you for joining us. For Benny Parsons, Ned Jarrett, Bill Weber, Jerry Punch, and John Kernan, this is Bob Jenkins. Thank you for joining us at Bristol International Raceway. For now, so long, everyone.